I like women's soccer more than men's soccer. I think
really?
they play harder.
Name 5 of your favorite players.
Megan Rapinoe, Alex Morgan.
Mm-hmm. That was good. You came out hot out of the gate there.
We've had some on the show.
That was fucking good. You are 2 for 2.
Boom.
Boom. On today's Pardon My Take, we have a twofer for the people. We have Rick Reilly on the show. He's got a new book out. We're talking golf with him. And then we have our good friends Riggs and Kirk Minihane talking some open championship picks and also who's deserving to win. Very funny with those two guys. We're going to do the Mount Rushmore of running backs because running backs are kind of under a microscope right now. All the running backs came to each other's defense on Monday. So we figured let's give them some shine. Mount Rushmore of running backs. And then we're going to finish with Jimbos. Great show for you. And it's all brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Everyone thinks about the day they'll eventually get to retire and enjoy all the freedom that comes with it. But who says we have to wait decades before we get to kick back and chill out, take advantage of that free will, and spend the summer chilling like a retiree and pair those moments with Coors Light, the beer that's made to chill. It's the beer that's made to chill, pairs well with a retired state of mind. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold, so you know when it's time to grab another. Perfect for all your summer plans or lack thereof. No judgment here. The summer chill like you're retired with Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. CoorsLight.com/take. Check them out right now. Coors Light, the most delicious beer in the world. The beer of the summer. Those mountains turn blue on the cans and bottles, and there's no better feeling in the world. So go check them out right now. CoorsLight.com/take or Drizzly or Instacart. Coors Light, the best beer ever created. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Wednesday, July 19th, and PFT running backs are being scrutinized. Running backs are being judged. Running backs are on the hot seat in the entire NFL. Saquon Barkley doesn't reach a deal with the Giants. Neither does Tony Pollard. Saquon Barkley tweets, "It is what it is," and then every running back in the world comes to his defense. What are we going to do about running backs, PFT?
Well, you said scrutinized. I think you can drop the inized.
Yeah.
They're getting screwed.
Yeah.
These running backs are getting screwed left and right. They are an endangered species when it comes to getting paid. They need to go on strike. It sounds like this is the beginning of running back unionization. They need to band together. Like the Ravens have been doing it for years when it comes to their wide receivers. Just don't have – like, what are you going to do? Play a game without running backs? I'd like to see you try. Or you can just teach all your running backs. Here's what I would do. If you're a young running back, a youngster out there playing the position of running back, learning how to play, coming up through the ranks, also learn how to pass because then you can just be a dual threat quarterback. How about that?
Yeah,
pass. But it does seem like what happened to fullbacks about 10, 12 years ago, with that started, like the whole trend of not using a fullback anymore, not paying a fullback when they were a big part of the running game. That's now first they came for the fullbacks, and I said nothing because I was not a fullback. Next, they came for the running backs, and there was nobody left to block for me.
It's tough. It's tough. It's one of those situations where I get what the running backs are saying, but it also, we have learned through time that like a guy like Saquon Barkley, who's very good, you can probably pay someone 20% of the salary for 80% of the production. And running backs, my big idea is that running backs should not be eligible to be drafted. Let them be free agents. Because it's like, I have no problem with how GMs are operating in terms of drafting running back, like using them and then franchise tagging them, then moving on. Because it's just a matter of fact that running backs, they wear down faster. That's just the nature of the position. It sucks for them, but it's true. So the big problem is that running backs don't get to free agency until they're kind of on the other side of the hill. why don't we let running backs just be free agents right away?
Or that would, I mean, I know what you're saying. It might not work to just be like, okay, one position gets to do this.
Of course.
But it would probably be a little bit easier if there was just no franchise tag for running back.
Yeah.
So you can use it on that position. You can use it on anybody else. If you've got a great holder, sure, use your tag on that. But if there's a running back, you can't tag them. So they play their first contract. Then there will be an actual bidding war for their services out there for their second deal. And then they can make some money, probably not get a third contract out of any of it. But that second contract is what they're all working towards. And they're not getting there in the current model. And yeah, if you're a GM, why would you ever commit big amount of money to a running back? It doesn't make any sense at all. Except I actually think with Saquon, there's a better angle that you can take on him, that he is better for Daniel Jones than Daniel Jones is for Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. No, I mean, Saquon's a very good running back. Like Christian McCaffrey chiming in. Christian McCaffrey is a special running back. He catches the ball like a wide receiver. It's just, if you're talking about the average running back, I don't really blame GMs for making smart financial decisions when it comes to paying running backs. Like it sucks.
It'd be funny if they did go on strike, if all the running backs got together, because Derrick Henry did say, I'm with every running back that's fighting to get what they deserve. If just they all stop playing, we might sneaky like football more. Ooh. Like if there was no running game. It wouldn't be football anymore, but I think that's what the league is going towards anyways. It's just like an all passing game, right?
Well,
like that's what brings in the money. That's what all the rule changes are in favor. What if there was a week without running backs? Would we be happy watching those games? I think me and you would not, because we appreciate the beauty of the running attack.
Establish the run.
Yeah, establish the run. How would you play action? Wouldn't work.
Right.
But if you were just like taking a poll nationwide of every football fan, do you think that more people would be like, yo, this game's all passing now? That's kind of sweet.
Yeah. It's basically Warren Sharp's wet dream is what would happen.
Yeah.
It's just pass on first down every time. You know what running backs need to do is they need to be like tight ends. They need a camp where they all get together. And I think what running backs need to do more than anything is highlight their blocking, because they can be like, look, we understand running the football. It's a passing league now. But what about blocking? Because they pay offensive linemen a lot of money, right? So just basically every single week, instead of being like, look at this 20-yard run by Saquon Barkley, how about look at this blitz that he picked up and saved his quarterback's life? We just need to shift the argument. Yeah.
Yeah, I love watching running backs throw down a big block. It's one of my favorite
best.
things to do. It's like Maurice Jones-Drew laying out Sean Merriman. This would actually lead towards teams drafting just really fat, big running backs to just be full-time blockers in the backfield.
Brandon Jacobs makes a comeback, but it really is it's the part of the game that's not sexy, that people don't really have their eye on. But a running back who's able to be good in the pass protection game is an invaluable asset to your team and to your quarterback not getting killed. So that's what we need to be talking about with running backs.
Yeah, it's also a position that is expendable. You can find another running back in the draft. There's not that much difference, as we've seen throughout the last 10 years of the NFL. Taking a running back in the 7th round usually works out for you just as well as taking a running back in the 2nd round.
And that's the part that sucks for them too, because running backs do, when they're 25, 26, the league kind of views them as, oh, well, they got a lot of miles, so why would we pay a 26, 27-year-old running back a ton of money? And they never really got a chance to make that big second contract. You always hear about it. It's the second contract that guys are after, because the first one's locked into a certain amount of money. And if you're not like a top first-round pick, it's not going to be money for the rest of your life, and you got to earn that second contract. There's a lot of confusing arguments online. One of my favorite ones was the meme that said running backs average salary is $1.81 million and kickers average salary is $2.26 million, and how everything is wrong because of that. Just leaving out the fact that most rosters have like 3 or 4 running backs and they all have one kicker. But still, that
feels a little personal towards kickers.
Yeah, it also just
also Babe Ruth made like $30,000 in the course of his career. Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, true.
Look at some of the salaries nowadays of the running backs.
I also loved Maurice Jones-Drew came to the defense. He said, "Let me say this: if you don't have Patrick Mahomes on your team, you're going to need a top-notch running back to win a ship, and that's a promise." Then a Twitter user named Little Tax Slayer at Flavor Blasted 1 replied, leading rushers for Super Bowl teams without Patrick Mahomes. 2022, Akers, 21 yards. 2021, Fournette, 89 yards, 1 TD. 2019, Michelle, 94 yards. 2018, LeGarrette Blount, 90 yards. 2017, LeGarrette Blount, 31 yards. 2016, Anderson, 90 yards. 2015, LeGarrette Blount, 40 yards. And he said, really the only thing it proves is that you statistically need LeGarrette Blount on your team.
Yeah, or just getting to a Super Bowl, it's good to have a bunch of guys that can run the football.
Yeah.
Leading rusher doesn't matter. This is actually the patriotization of the NFL. Bill Belichick was way ahead of the curve on this because he was doing like running back by committee going back to 2012, 2013, where it didn't matter if Gray got him 4 touchdowns one week. He was going to play LeGarrette Blount in a cold weather game. He would just like go back and forth, depending on who he felt was the best matchup in that game.
Yeah.
And just having a bunch of good running backs is almost better than having one awesome running back because then you have to force feed that guy. And if he's having a bad game, your whole offense goes to shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is funny when you put it like when you think of running backs and you talk about if I were to say like a running back is 28 years old, you'd be like, ew.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
We look at running backs like Leonardo DiCaprio looks at girlfriends.
Yes,
they
pretty
hit
much.
Age 26. There's a lot of tread on, not so much tread left on those tires.
Time for a new one.
Upgrade. Let's get a young.
Yeah. So I do feel bad for running backs, but I also don't really know the solution other than taking away the franchise tag or figuring out a way that their rookie contracts, maybe if you draft a running back, their rookie contract is 3 years, not 5. I don't know.
I still think they should unionize. I think that'd be fun.
That would be fun. Someone also had
there's whiffs of unionization going around.
Yeah, someone else also had the idea that running back should be like car leases. That if you go over the miles, over the carries, you have to pay a penalty to the running back. I don't think that would really work because then teams would just be even more running back by committee, and they would be like, "Oh, we can't run Saquon here on the goal line because we don't want to pay the penalty."
Yeah, my old colleague from KSK, Johnny Sugar, tweeted this out a couple months ago. And it made me laugh. He said that the NFL analytics community, which is for the most part, a bunch of nerdy, liberal-leaning white guys, got together and somehow figured out that running backs should not be paid as much as they are getting paid, and it ended up taking away millions and millions and millions of dollars of earning potential from young black men.
That's perfect. It is. It's the truth. It's the analytics of football have I love the running back position.
I love running backs too. When this happened, I felt bad for running backs.
Me
everywhere.
too.
I tweeted out like running backs. If you're reading this, just know that I value you.
Yeah, I was like, I still think running backs are cool. If I were a GM, I already proposed this. I would make sure that all the running backs on my roster get paid enough that they're happy and as little that I'm happy. Easy job.
Yeah, develop a rescue franchise for unwanted running backs.
Yes. We need maybe a team to just only run the football, kind of zig when everyone zags.
Ravens.
Yeah. Ravens. I mean, the 49ers they tried to win an NFC championship game just running the football.
That's true. Turns out it doesn't. You might need a quarterback too, along with your running backs to win a championship. Maurice Jones-Drew was just like a little bit off.
It also is like when you actually say the numbers, it is ridiculous. Someone was like, how is Daniel Jones getting $35 million and Saquon can't get 12? You're like, you know what? You're right. Saquon is better at football than Daniel Jones. It's unfortunate that Daniel Jones plays quarterback, the most important position in all of sports.
Just if I were the Giants, I would have probably tagged Daniel Jones and then paid Saquon.
Yeah, that is what fucked Saquon is as soon as Daniel Jones did his deal, they had the franchise tag for Saquon.
But he's like a rare case. I think Saquon is good enough that you could make the case that you could pay him a little bit of money on that second deal and still be fine in the long term because he does make your quarterback so much better. He makes your offensive line so much better. But yeah, for the most part, it's just basic churn and burn. Get a guy that it's like the Denver Broncos used to always do. They'd have one guy and you'd be like, damn, that guy's going to be the future of the NFL. He's going to be the rushing king for the next 5 seasons. And then usually the next season or the season after, they'd move on from him.
Yeah. Yeah. The Shanahan system, just plug and play a running back. Okay. What else do we got going on? We are in the depths of July where I feel like all day was just running back conversations. I saw people ranking seasons, so like the actual seasons of the year, and I realized, oh fuck, we need some sports back. Like, thank God teams start reporting this week, because when we start ranking the 4 seasons, that usually is a sign that we all need to watch some football really badly.
When you said rank the 4 seasons, I was just going to say football season.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
well,
number
that's
one. That's its
if
own
fall
thing.
isn't number 1. You're crazy. Yeah,
I love the summer. I still love the summer, man. You can't get the summer out of this blood. Hank, don't look like you don't love the summer either.
I love the summer. No, we've had this debate, I think, probably like 10 times. But
yeah, this is what we do in July.
you guys both pick fall first. I'm the only real summer head on this pod. I only scoff because you say that, but you don't mean it.
I do mean it. What are you talking about? I absolutely
Summer or
love
fall, one's got to go.
Summer's gone.
summer.
See ya.
Yeah, so don't
See ya.
say that.
Won't even miss you. See
It's
ya,
close
bitch.
though. You know what? I'm leaning more towards becoming a fall guy as I get older. In my
Also,
younger
as you get a
years-
kid, summer's one.
No, wrong.
What?
No.
Opposite.
No
You have to
school.
spend all your time with your kid.
Yeah, you're way off.
No, I'm saying when you are a kid.
No, I'm saying
when
when
you
you're
are
a
a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
No school.
Yeah,
And
when
you
you are a
realize that
kid. Yes.
Most people don't get summers off unless you're a
Yes.
teacher or Hank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
summers
when
are
you're a
great.
kid, summer's by
yes,
far the best.
Yes, you are correct. When you're a kid, yes, but when you have kids, summer goes down again.
Or if you don't have
Big
an
time.
office.
Or if you don't have
Yeah.
an office. But you
That's
have
a tough realization after you graduate from college. You get into the real world and you realize, wait, I don't get to stay home and go on vacation every July and August.
yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, summer really gets knocked down a peg. It
There's,
basically becomes like four weekends in the summer is what you remember it by.
Yeah. Yeah. There also the Open Championship, which we'll get into in a little bit, but it's been discussed. They fucked Brooks over with his pairing.
Yep.
He's in
Big
a group
time.
with Cantlay, just trying to get under his skin. The Brits don't want to see our boy Brooks win.
But Brooks has already figured out he's just going to walk slow. He's going to slow walk the fuck out of the course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that he was doing that so he didn't have to worry about people. Like, it's got to be a different beast when you have to watch Cantlay the whole time. Like, he can say it's not going to bother him, but it has to.
Well, he has 2 options. He could either, which would be very funny if he starts just walking in circles behind Cantlay as he does his whole thing,
Or
or
just sit down.
Brooks is going to have to start stroking guys, which he will.
Yeah.
He will stroke a
stroke
guy
you.
if he has
He'll
to.
stroke you.
Yeah.
It would also be funny if Brooks intentionally didn't play driver just so that he would always be away from the pin on his second shot.
Yeah.
If those extra yards were so meaningless to him, he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll hit a 4-iron off the tee. That way I can go up and hit my shot immediately.
Yeah, Cantlay. Fuck you, Cantlay. I'm gonna be watching with the clock on Cantlay.
I've got-
reporting him.
We've got a
Cantlay.
bet coming in the
Cantlay.
Barstool Sports book, the Fleetwood Mac bet. Tommy Fleetwood, Rory McIlroy, top 10. I
Ooh.
like both those guys.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
both those guys this week a lot.
I
That's
like that
nice.
name a lot. I
Yeah.
wish I wasn't, outwardly saying Rory's going to miss the cut, but that name is great.
It's a good name. A good
It's a
name.
great
A good
name.
name for anything will overcome any mental obstacle that you have.
Yes. The other thing I had was Shohei Ohtani's trade season is coming. He had an unreal bat flip against the Yankees at midnight on the East Coast, and just the Yankees stink. Ever since they put the logo on their pinstripes.
He's
Terrible
getting,
organization.
Shohei's turning into Barry Bonds, where people are like, why didn't they intentionally walk him? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I read an article, top destinations for Shohei Ohtani, basically judging who has the farm system to trade for him for the next 2 months, 2.5 months, and I love it because I want to ask what you think the top 3 teams are, and it makes it so much fun because if he goes to any 3, it would be fucking incredible.
Okay, so I would say the Nationals because the Nationals just upgraded their farm system by trading away Juan Soto last year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's never going to happen. It's
Nope.
not going to happen. I'm not convinced of that. Seattle.
Nope.
Chicago.
Nope. The Cubs are going to be sellers for sure. The top 3 are the Tampa Bay Rays, number 3, and this is obviously just a list on CBS.
Gross.
The Baltimore Orioles, which would be
Okay,
fucking
fun.
awesome. They have a loaded farm system. I don't think they'll ever pull the trigger on that. And then the Texas Rangers. So if he goes to any 3 of those, because everyone,
The Rays?
yeah, well, the Rays are
No, but
Rays
like,
are
how's
good.
that fun? Who?
It's not fun.
Well, the Rays could be fun if they wore their throwbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The double
neon, the neon logo that they've been wearing, those are fun.
I just don't think that the Tampa Bay Rays are a fun organization. If you have a superstar like Shohei Ohtani, you want to see him in a premium market, like an exciting team. Baltimore would also be fun, though.
But remember, this is a rental. So I'm saying it would be fun because it's a rental. Like, he's going to sign somewhere else after the season for a ton of money, and probably in New York or LA for the Dodgers. Like, so I'm saying fun. You get to watch Shohei Ohtani for 2.5 months on a team that you wouldn't expect him to be on, maybe compete for a World Series. Those would be, the Orioles would be awesome. And the Reds were number 5. The Reds would be awesome.
Right. So the Orioles, I don't know if Peter Angelos would do that, though.
No, he wouldn't.
He's not a big trade for another superstar. He's like, the entire worldview that Peter Angelos has as the owner of the Orioles is you want to develop a superstar and then trade him away at the deadline.
Right.
His business model is exactly what the Angels are doing right now.
Yeah, you build the tree and then you sell it away for a bunch of seeds, hoping that you'll get another tree.
Yeah. I'm going to get a tree soon, then I'm going to get more seeds. Yes. You never get any fruit.
Yes. So I don't know. I hope he gets traded to not the Yankees or the Dodgers. That's my only hope, because it feels like he will sign with the Yankees or the Dodgers once he becomes a free agent. So I'm hoping that we get to see Shohei in a different uniform for 2.5 months, maybe going deep into October.
I'd like to see him on the Giants or the Mariners. I think those would be fun teams.
The Giants would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. Reds would be.
What about Trout? Is Trout going anywhere?
Well, he's injured, right?
Yeah, Trout's out for the next 6 weeks. Ohtani has also said that he likes playing on the West Coast and he wants to stay on the West Coast.
So he's going to get traded to the Dodgers.
So
and
I think the Dodgers are the betting favorites for him.
Or the Padres, who I don't know how they have any talent
I don't think
or money.
Padres have anything.
Yeah. But
they have everybody on their current roster. Their roster is awesome. If you look at it on paper, you look at the Padres, you're like, yeah, that's a contender.
Also, that was a bad bat flip.
You didn't like it?
He looked awkward.
What are you talking about?
It looked like an awkward bat flip. Everyone was freaking out about it. I thought he looked awkward.
It was smooth as hell.
No.
It looked like he was cranking a motorcycle.
Looked at it, and then he was like, oh, shit, I should bat flip. A bat flip should be like a Jose, but although that was the exact same thing of what I just described.
No, Max,
but it didn't look natural. It looked like he forced that bat flip.
Okay, I'm watching it again, and you are so wrong.
No, Max, I'll stand by this take.
Oh, that's so wrong.
I didn't think it was a good bat flip. I didn't think it was a good bat flip.
Not to mention that it wasn't a no-doubter home run.
Yeah, which makes it worse, I think.
No, which makes it cool that he was like, actually, this is going to be a home run. When everyone watching was like, ooh, maybe it's not.
Okay, so Matt, we're not going to take any advice from Max on how to celebrate after you win something. Or do something. Maybe if he had decided to bat flip before he swung the bat. That's more of Max's speed.
Before the pitch even came.
It was an awkward bat flip.
There was nothing about it. I'm watching it on loop right now. It was smooth as hell.
No,
he just stared at the ball and just went boom.
Max, are you an unwritten rules guy?
No, I love a bat flip. I just didn't think that was a good one.
Okay.
I don't think this take is a good one.
No,
that's fine.
It's actually a terrible
That's
take.
fine.
It's an awful take.
Also, considering this, too, Aaron Boone was on one of my hot seats, but we're talking about it now. Could have walked him.
Could have walked him, yeah.
Could have walked him.
Probably should have walked him.
Yeah, so that's tough.
Probably should have walked him.
I got a nice little taste of Central Time Zone last night watching this game, because on the East Coast it was over so late.
Yeah,
people were complaining about it. I wasn't even in bed yet. I was just chilling on my couch. I was on my downstairs couch. Hadn't even gone upstairs yet.
Oh, hadn't even done the move?
Hadn't even done the move yet. Nope. Sometimes I'll catch the end of a game on a TV in my bedroom. No, not only was I downstairs, Big Cat, I haven't even made the move from the basement to the main room to the upstairs yet. That's Central Time Zone living.
That can get tricky though sometimes, because I'll get stuck just like so lazy that I won't make the move, even though I should have made the move.
Yeah,
you know,
especially if you have a good couch.
Yeah, you're like, what? Why have I not made the move? I'm not even watching anything, and you're like, nah, I'm just staying on this couch.
I did get a new couch delivered last week, and I think I may have made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
It's like so comfortable that I was laying on it the other night, and I thought, why don't I just live here on my couch? Why do I even need a bed?
Dude, they've made couches so awesome.
Yeah.
It is one of the best, like, I don't know, top 5 engineering changes that they made in the last 10, 15 years, where couches are just basically beds. It rules.
Yeah. I could sleep on my couch all day, all night. I could live on my couch entirely. Eat there.
Should.
I could do the podcast from there. Everything.
You should hurt your back again and just lay on the couch.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Hank, you don't like this?
No, I was going to save it for Firefest, but as you can see behind me, I've had room for a couch that I ordered in May, and I've just been at war with customer service, and I've pretty much just given up on it showing up. So just hearing you guys talk about how great couches are is making me a little sad.
Yeah.
Hank, you got to check out my couch. If you ever want to see a couch, come over to my place.
Yeah, because I don't think I'm ever gonna have one.
Well,
Hank's
okay.
living in the real life meme of the guy's apartment that's just a folding chair, a TV with red zone on it.
Yeah. What more do you need? Hank, you don't need a couch. Your house is the golf course.
True.
Yeah. So you're good. All right. Should we do hot seat, cool throne?
Yep.
Let's do hot seat, cool throne, and then we'll get to Rick Reilly, Mount Rushmore of running backs, and Kirk and Riggs. Hank, your hot seat, cool throne.
My hot seat is Christopher Nolan.
Ooh.
Okay, go on.
My favorite, my favorite director, my favorite filmmaker. You guys know I'm an absolute, cinephile. I love movies. The other day I watched like a 5-minute TikTok that was explaining the decision that he made to shoot Oppenheimer in this crazy IMAX 70 millimeter film, and that, to really appreciate it, you got to go see it in IMAX 70 millimeter. And I watched the whole thing. I was like, damn, he really went to great lengths to do this. It must be worth the experience. There's 19 movie theaters in the country that can do it.
What?
And that's it. So like other IMAXs, there's only 19 that are the 70 millimeter IMAXs. The other IMAXs are basically like slightly distorted or like reformatted versions. And I'm sure you probably wouldn't be able to see the difference. But after I watched this video, I was like, oh, I love Christopher Nolan. I respect his craft. I'm going to do what he wants the people to do, the way he watched the movie, the way he intended it to be watched.
You're a simp.
Yeah.
And there is literally the closest one to me is in like Detroit.
So you got to go.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Well, then you're not a cinephile. You're not a cinephile.
Fake fan.
Fake fan.
It's tough. So I'm
You don't even like
upset.
movies.
I'm upset. I assumed honestly, it was like, every major city probably has one, but like maybe some of the flyover states and stuff, like they're kind of screwed. So, and I wasn't worried about it. But then I was like, when I saw this list, I was furious.
Okay,
That's
so
crazy.
I did some different math when it came to this movie because I saw what you're talking about, Hank, how he's like very specific and particular. I shot it in this format to be viewed in this format. All I needed to see.
Why would you do that if there's 19?
Right. All I needed to see was it's a 3-hour long movie. I don't care what the size of the screen and the film canister in the back looks like. I'm going to watch this fucking thing on the most comfortable chair I can find. If I'm going to be there for 3 hours, you better believe I'm not sitting in like a standard normal movie theater seat. I'm going full lazy boy. I need something that reclines.
Okay.
It's like every movie theater in the world now.
I have a question.
No, it's not. You got to find the ones that aren't just the plush ones, the ones that kick back a little bit.
Yes.
I have a question. What exactly does it like define an IMAX theater? Because I just Googled it and it says there's over 300 IMAX theaters in the US. And I just Googled it and there's top 10 best IMAX theaters in Chicago.
But it's slightly different format. It's like
There's digital IMAX and then 70 IMAX. I don't know necessarily what the difference is, but that is the difference.
So you
IMAX
can see it in IMAX, Hank.
but not the way he wanted it to be seen.
Well, then that's
Yeah, but-
Christopher Nolan fault.
Which is why he's on the hot
Yes.
seat.
Okay. All right. Now it makes sense.
But also, Hank can't claim to be a Christopher Nolan fan if he's not
Correct.
going to follow his particular instructions and go to Detroit to watch this movie.
Yes, your cinephile has been revoked.
Got your card. Also, IMAX would be a great name for like a biopic about Max.
Yeah. So we made a robot
IL.
Max that just slips on bananas and shit.
Yeah, IMAX.
Okay.
Speaking of that, honestly, great segue, PFT. My cool throne is the city of Philadelphia never winning anything ever.
Okay,
They won something? Oh, okay.
The city of Philadelphia. Joel Embiid, our prince, our MVP. He made comments the other day that he wants to win a championship in Philadelphia or anywhere else, which, again, You got, your MVP, you got James Harden. James Harden's out of town, could care less about playing in Philadelphia. And then you have your current MVP, best player, cornerstone of the franchise saying he just wants to win. And it seems like if he doesn't win this year in Philly, he's probably out.
Have you done any follow-up research to this?
I have.
Okay.
You better believe he has. Hank, tell me about all the follow-up research you've done to this quote.
Well, the follow-up, I think he got a lot of heat, and then Joel Embiid, he was being genuine, and then he realized that he was being too honest, and the city of Philadelphia was turning on him. I think, what was your exact? Let me pull up Max's quote about this.
No, yeah, I have takes about this, but it doesn't have to do with Embiid.
Well, Max,
you literally tweeted
in on this conversation.
Oh, hold on. All right, I got it. This is from @PhillyMaze. Can't believe this fan base is going to run Embiid out of town.
Oh,
That was before Embiid.
I don't see any follow-up from you, so
That was
interesting.
before Embiid followed up himself and said that he was just trolling and that he is the troll god. But
that didn't seem like a troll.
no, but he said it was a troll.
Oh, okay. So it's just a prank.
He said it was a prank.
Just
he
a
said
prank.
it was a troll and that he wants to stay in Philadelphia and finish his career here.
Right.
He just
This
said
is
check my middle name. That doesn't. And his middle name actually isn't Troll. So if you do check his middle name, Max, which I did,
middle name in his. This is semantics. You're playing a semantics battle.
his middle name is Hans.
Oh,
You're playing a semantics. Hans, great middle name.
The MVP,
great middle
said,
name.
check my middle name, and I did, and it's Hans.
His middle name on Twitter is Troll.
Did you
It's
just
Troll.
update it?
It's not
was not
Troll.
Troll.
It's
Troll. Okay.
Troll.
So that's not his middle name.
I'm sick of everyone here. Wait. He also said that he lost his place as the best troll here, and that is now Daryl Morey. So he was just talking about trolling.
He's okay. He was not
His
trolling.
middle
when
name
he
is
answered that
Hans,
question.
and his middle name on Twitter is Troel.
I
And
think he
you-
was saying when they asked him that question, yeah, I want to win a championship, whether that's here or somewhere else. That's my goal. I think that's an honest answer.
He has no loyalty to our city, Max. Fact or
Yes, he
fiction?
does. He has plenty of loyalty until everything I'm seeing on Twitter right now is just bashing Embiid.
It's so fucked up.
And-
Our
and I
fans just
understand-
they can't. They
Well,
just
he
can't.
is the
we can't have
MVP
nice
of the
things.
league.
He's the MVP of the league, and no matter what has happened in the playoffs the past couple of years, yes, he hasn't played as well as he can. He's still an undeniable top 10 player in the league, and 90% of teams across the NBA would do anything to have him. Fact or fiction, would you like Joel Embiid to be on the Chicago Bulls?
No, I want the Bulls to win a title.
That's a lie. That's
Well,
a lie.
I just gave you
no,
the answer.
fiction.
I gave you the
Fiction.
answer.
What you just said is fiction.
No,
what
it's
you
not.
just said
I want
is
the Bulls
fiction.
to someday win a title again, and Joel Embiid does not get you closer to that.
Fact or fiction? To win a title, you need to make a deep playoff run.
Correct. You need to get to the third round. Has he
going-
been to the third round?
He's young.
How young?
Young adjacent.
Is he an old running back?
He's probably an old running back, but that's fine.
Okay. So big men and running
Give us
backs
Zach LaVine. Give us Zach LaVine.
for Joel Embiid.
No.
Done.
No. Not for Joel
29
Embiid.
years old,
Ew.
and his middle name is Hans. He'll be 30 by the time they play the playoffs next year. Uh-oh.
Young adjacent.
That's
He'll be
not
fine.
your-
He'll be fine. He's got a long career ahead of him in Philadelphia. We're going to
What do you
maybe
want
not
Zach-
this year,
what do
maybe
you-
not this year, but
Oh,
next year we're
no.
going to put pieces in front of
Oh,
around
no.
him.
We're already giving up
Oh.
on 31.
No, we
so
have-
he's 31 now.
Wait a minute. Although Pat Bev is here and Pat Bev is going to change everything about the Sixers, that's true.
So you've already wasted Embiid's prime.
Yeah. We're
No,
already going
no.
next year, not even this year.
Yeah,
No.
you've wasted his prime.
No,
Congrats.
this year's back on. This year's back on. I rewind.
What, him and Fat James Harden, who actually is starting to
No,
look
Pat
fat?
Bev.
Yeah, no, but Fat James Harden only wants to go to the Clippers.
You want Pat Bev to be your starting point guard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Give me Pat Bev starting point guard. We figure out Harden for Levine. Sure.
Wait, what? I don't want
We're
fucking
gonna get-
Harden.
No. Well, we're gonna do like a little 3-team trade.
Okay,
Give
and what do
you
the
some
Bulls get
assets.
here? Assets?
Yeah, you get some assets. We get.
I'll
Levine.
take some assets.
Yeah.
This-
How many
this
assets?
is what
I don't know.
NBA
We're gonna
fans
work.
do all
We're gonna
the
work
time.
assets.
They
Three
just-
team
they try-
trade.
They try to offload their unwanted players, and they put them on other teams. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't want Harden's not going to go to the Bulls. Harden's going to go to the Clippers, and then maybe a fourth team. Assets to the Bulls. We get Zach LaVine
Why
Okay.
don't you just want to keep James Harden?
because he's not. He could get.
Oh, because
fat.
he wants to leave.
He definitely wants to leave, and he could get
Max,
fat.
how much blame do you put
Why don't
on
you
the
just
city
have
of
a good team
Philadelphia
that people want to play for?
on the fans, Max? Because you did say they're going to run him out of town. It sounds
Well,
like you're
I mean, the Twitter timeline was insane yesterday, talking about how Joel Embiid is worthless. Get him on. If Joel Embiid wasn't on the Sixers, we wouldn't even make the playoffs for the next 10 years.
Damn.
correct.
Fuck.
Like Joel Embiid, all of a sudden,
That's why
Philly
my cool
does,
throw was a
especially
city of
Sixers
Philadelphia
fans,
never winning anything ever.
especially Sixers fans, they have the worst recency bias of all time, and they immediately think that after one bad series,
You just said next year's out.
Max, we
I
can't
as
let these
far
guys
as
get to
winning
us.
a title, but I'm just going back to the times where it was barely making the playoffs or
The process.
Yeah,
If
this
you're-
is
if
no,
you're
but
wasting a year
going
of
back
an
to the times of the
MVP's
8
career,
seed.
you don't deserve to have him.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Give
remember
him
the
up.
step
No.
over?
Give
That was
him up.
sick.
No,
Yeah.
no.
He's not happy with you.
No, he's
I
crying
still
right
love
now.
him. I still love
Max
him.
is
I still
running-
love him.
You're running him out of town by saying next year is a complete wash.
He still loves him.
No, we're gonna figure out. We're gonna get Harden out. We're gonna bring Levine in. Assets to the Bulls.
You're not getting Zach LaVine. Shut the fuck
Stop
up.
saying
Zach LaVine-
assets. I'm sick of the word assets.
I think you guys should start
Assets.
tanking for some draft picks.
No more tanking.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
All right. Your hot seat cool throwing PFT. He was not trolling, by the way.
I'm sorry
My
for
hot
going
seat-
off the rails.
My hot seat is our relationship with Kirk Cousins because the Netflix show Quarterback came out, and I'm coming out of the closet as a Kirk Cousins fan. It's been buried deep inside me
Yeah.
for a long time, and I'm a self-hating Kirk Cousins fan, so I've buried it so deep that I overcompensated for loving Kirk Cousins by hating him so much these last few years. I love him. I love Kirk Cousins. I'm not ashamed to admit it. For the first time in maybe my entire life, I'm coming out to you guys. I love Kirk Cousins as a person. One of the greatest dudes. Hard not to root for. The only thing that you can knock him for is that he gets paid too much because he actually played the game the right way when it came to the contracts and the franchise tag situations. Got himself into a situation where he's probably going to make $300 million over the course of his career or close to it. Would you hear that figure and you think to yourself, that's a lot of money for Kirk Cousins because he's not like a top 3, top 5 quarterback, but he's impossible to not like. He really is.
I will never love him because he does play for the Vikings and it is NFC North, and I'm hoping the Bears will be competing at the top of the NFC North. But I like him. I like him now. Watching him, what solidified it for me was actually his wife talking about his wardrobe, and she was like, "Yeah, people say online like, oh, what does he shop at Target or Kohl's?" And she was like, "Yeah, actually, we do." I was like,
Yeah.
You know what? Like, he's just a regular guy. Like, he's just a regular guy.
He was in Barnes and Noble buying books, and they're like, "Oh, we got actually half price on this table." He's like, "Oh, that's my lucky day."
Yeah.
And then goes over and buys some more books. He's just a good.
He's a good
was saying
guy.
the other day, Kirk Cousins would probably be the best neighbor in the world to have.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He's a very good guy. It's going to be hard to root against him, but I will have to. But yeah, he's a very good guy. He was the big winner of that show.
Yes,
And Mahomes won a Super Bowl.
yes. And my other hot seat is Vietnam because U.S. women's national team opens up the World Cup against Vietnam on Thursday night.
Oh,
So we're
boy.
going back to finish the job. I'm going to have a full clip ready to go. Vietnam War. Let's go. Let's get after it. But yeah, I like watching the Women's World Cup. It's fun. Did you see that commercial that they had in France?
Yes.
It was a pretty good commercial for the Women's World Cup.
The Billies and Andrew Tates of the world have no idea what to do with that commercial.
Absolutely no idea. They took
You can't
Go-
lump me in like that.
I guess
That's
I-
really fucked up.
you're Andrew Tate aspiring.
Yeah.
No,
You're top G.
No, I'm not.
You're not a top.
I
seed.
I like women's soccer more than men's soccer. I
Oh,
think they
really?
play harder.
Name 5 of your favorite players.
Megan Rapinoe, Alex Morgan.
Mhm.
That was good. You came out hot out of the gate there.
We've had some
That
on
was
the show.
hot.
On
That was
Billy.
fucking good. You
Yeah.
are 2 for 2.
Boom.
Boom.
But yeah,
I
the
forgot.
clip for people who didn't see,
Mia Hamm.
they used
Well, yeah, she's former, but I want to hear Billy say at least one more current player.
Not current.
Name the one that's been on the podcast, Billy.
he doesn't listen to the show.
That was
No, you were.
I was away.
No, you were part of the show.
Billy's probably
Well,
like
to be
Mbappe because
fair,
he saw the
he
commercial.
was not. I was an intern.
That actually is when he should be listening more, though, because he said that
True.
he listened more then.
Yeah.
No, I listened more before my first internship.
Oh, okay. It's
But
been like-
Billy, did you see the commercial that we're talking about?
Nope.
The French women's soccer commercial?
It's sick.
So it's a compilation of all these great plays from the French men's national team, and it's talking about how amped up they get watching it, and then halfway through they stop it, and they're like, actually, the doctor was a woman the whole time, and they show behind the scenes CGI. They just turned all the women into men for the video to make you think you were watching men's soccer. Because when I was watching, I was like, I think that the French men's national team flops a little bit more than this.
yeah.
Because the
No,
girls
they
flop
don't.
as much.
That's why I like women's soccer better. They go hard.
Yeah. They're not bitches.
They're
Yeah.
not.
No,
They are.
they're alphas. No, they're not.
They're badass bitches.
There we
kinda
go.
cocky.
They're girl
They're
bosses.
boss bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I love
excited
that
for
whenever
it as
you
well.
talk about how much you like a woman in power, you have to use the word badass about her.
Yeah. Girl boss. They should have. There should be a World Cup, or I mean, I'm happy the Women's World Cup is here, but summer really needs to do like Olympics every 2 years, both World Cups every 2 years. So it's just every other year we get one or the other.
I agree.
So-
But it's gonna be fun to watch. I've got a nice little future and investment on the U.S. women.
Nice.
Um,
Okay. You have another cool throne?
Yeah, my cool throne is
That was your
my cool throne is my cold heart because I have decided to adopt a new dog.
Yes.
So I've begun that process, and I'm just falling in love with every dog that I see. Just
Yeah.
every dog. I'm going through all these different websites, emailing people. I almost want to do a bachelor style competition to see who my next dog's going to be, but I can't.
You
I can't wait.
do that. You can't do that because then the losers, you're like, what people would be
Well,
mad.
I was thinking about it, and what would happen would be I would have the first introduction on night one. I'd be like, okay, this is my dog.
Yeah.
Because the day that I decide to leave my house and I've already bought a leash and a collar, the first dog that I see, I'm going to take home.
Yes.
So I'm very excited. I'm ready to get back in the dog game. It's been way, way, way too long. So very, very pumped about that new addition to my life that will be coming probably in the next couple weeks.
Love it. Love it.
Yep.
All right. My hot seat is Bill Belichick, literally. So there's a report out. Hank, this is a report.
From who?
Tom Curran.
Okay,
Is that fair?
fair.
He went on Rich Eisen today, and he said, you talk about avoiding the hot seat, Rich. He's on the hot seat, and he's been there at different levels of warmth since 2019. Look at it this way. In 2019, Tom Brady wanted a 2-year, $50 million guaranteed contract, just like Drew Brees. He presumed he was going to get that. In training camp, it was still not forthcoming, and he was like, you know what? If I don't get this thing, I'm walking out. It was explained to Belichick that was the case. They got something done. It was not a 2-year guaranteed contract. It was 2 years with a team option. And then according to Tom Curran, the Patriots never had a plan for Brady leaving. And Belichick is now on the hot seat. Now, I'll say, if they fire Belichick, that's the dumbest move ever. He is the greatest coach of all time, right? So why would they do that? But Hank, is not me reporting. This is someone else reporting that Bill Belichick is on the hot seat.
It's very interesting. Max,
And
what are
it
your
wasn't
thoughts?
Mike Florio.
Yeah, I mean that's surprising. Florida will definitely run with that for the next 6 months. I don't know. I like Tom Curran. He's probably just a little. It's summer for him too. He needs clicks. He needs views. He's got to get some stories out there that get some buzz. It's easy to say that the seat's warm, but there's no way that it is.
Do you think there's any lingering resentment between Kraft and Belichick over what happened with the Jimmy G situation?
No.
I don't think there's any resentment.
How
for
can you
that.
resent Bill Belichick if you're Robert Kraft after everything he's done for you?
No. I'm saying like Kraft essentially got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo because he was the replacement plan for Brady.
Yeah, but he won 2 Super Bowls.
I don't think there's
And
resentment
Jimmy
for
G
that.
is like not going to play again.
I think it's any successful sports franchise that wins multiple championships. There's just like a credit pie that everyone wants a piece of. So I don't think there's any resentment. But would you, if you hit Robert Kraft with True Serum, do you think he would be like, yeah, I kind of want a little more credit for putting this whole thing together? Probably. You don't think any?
I
That's
think
just
he
a
gets.
norm-
I think he gets a lot of credit. He's like one of the best owners in the history of sports.
That's a normal thing to expect that a owner would want, you know?
I mean, I think about the Last Dance and how bad was it Jerry Reinsdorf?
Yeah.
Like that's
Jerry
not Robert
Krause?
Kraft.
Yeah.
That's not Robert Kraft.
Okay.
It
Well,
says
if
he's
he
officially on the hot seat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Say the quote again.
That he's on the hot seat.
No.
You talk about avoiding the hot seat. He's on the hot seat, Rich.
He said he has been. Yeah, you talk about avoiding the hot seat, Rich. He's on the hot seat, and he's been there at different levels of warmth since 2019.
But what do you like?
He is on the hot seat.
What would what could Bill Belichick do to get fired? Nothing.
Not make the playoffs? I don't know. Hank, I agree with you. It would be the dumbest move to fire a guy like that. But you know how owners who are maybe getting up there in age think.
All right,
Listen,
want to be back there.
If you're Tom Curran, you're going on that show. You got to come with something. And
Okay,
he
Hank,
did.
thought
We're talking
experiment.
about it right now. Good job, Tom.
Let's look at the post. Let's look at the post Brady era in New England.
Playoffs.
Okay,
Beat the Bills in Buffalo in the cold.
Wait,
let me
that wasn't the
finish.
playoffs.
That wasn't the playoffs.
No, I know, but like that, I said that playoffs was first, comma.
Didn't they get smoked? Like, wasn't that one of the all-time blowouts in the history of the NFL?
Yeah, he's talking about a different
game.
game, though.
But
So,
before
didn't
that,
play
that was the
us.
season series was
Every drive
basically
they
even.
had was a touchdown and just stomped them into the turf.
The season series was
playoff?
pretty much even.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones was basically a rookie, if I remember correctly.
Here's
Okay,
a fun.
so no, wait. So Hank, I just want you to do this thought experiment.
Okay.
Just taking the post Brady era, and you look at what Belichick's done. You got Mac Jones in there. You hired your son to be the defensive coordinator. Then you hired two guys that were cast off coaches, one of which did not coach offense, to come in and split the offensive coordinator duty. Royally fucked that up. Going into this year, would you not say that coach would be on the hot seat?
The only mistake of what you just said is the Patricia, and like that was a mistake, and he knows that.
Okay, Hank, here's how, in defense of Bill Belichick, if you played a hypothetical, Bill Belichick gets fired, how many teams currently would fire their coach to hire Bill Belichick?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
would
everyone?
love to cheat. I would love to cheat.
It was would it be everyone but maybe the Chiefs and the 49ers? Who else wouldn't make that swap right away?
Right.
Maybe Baltimore.
Maybe Baltimore, maybe Broncos, just because they hired Sean Payton, but it can't be more than like 5 teams total that wouldn't fire their current coach. Maybe the Steelers, Tomlin, but like that's why you don't fire Bill Belichick. He would get a job instantly, and teams would fire their coach to get him.
That would destroy me.
Would
No shame.
Belichick go into the Browns and winning a Super Bowl for the Browns? That would be all time.
He would love that. He would never go to the Ravens because of the way things ended in
Correct.
Cleveland.
Correct.
But he would go back to the Browns to be like, hey, prodigal son, we're back. Let's run it back again.
Yeah. Yeah. What would be the crazier story? Go to the Browns
Or the Jets.
or the Jets or the Bills? He was like, I'll bring a Super Bowl to Buffalo.
I don't know if they'd fire McDermott for Bill.
I think they would. I think they would. And I like Sean McDermott a lot, but I mean, you're talking about Bill Belichick. It's just different. Okay. My cool throne, I have 2. One is Charles Barkley, who I don't know what he was doing the other day, but he was giving a speech and he said, I ain't worried about getting canceled because let me tell you something. If you all fire me and give me all that money, I'm going to be playing golf every fucking day. So listen, as I said last night, if you're gay, God bless you. If you're trans, God bless you. And if you have a problem with them, fuck you.
Mhm.
Just great. Like, he's like, I cannot be canceled. And if
We've
you
also
do,
lost all sense of the term canceled because
correct.
he's complaining now about or not complaining, but he's saying it's a possibility that people would cancel me from the other side of cancel culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I've learned about cancel culture is that everybody loves cancel culture.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bunch of people out there that say like, I abhor cancel culture, but you have to play by the same rules as you guys make us play by. Everyone loves to cancel somebody that they personally don't agree with.
Yeah. It's I don't like cancel culture when it's coming after someone that I like. And then the minute I have a chance to cancel someone I don't like, I'm all in.
Yes.
That's cancel culture basically summarized. And then my other cool throw is Aaron Donald 7th straight time he's a 99 overall in Madden. This is also, we talked about the signs that football's back. The rankings coming out. Love it. Love it.
People
I don't
getting
even
mad
play
about
Madden.
rankings,
Yeah, but I'm in. Okay, Billy.
My hot seat is Tupac Shakur's Killer.
Oh,
So today, a press release was given by the Las Vegas Police Department that confirmed a search warrant was served in Henderson, Nevada, as part of the ongoing Tupac Shakur homicide investigation.
whoa.
So 30 years later, they busted down someone's door in relation to the investigation. Not much outside of that press release, but if you're out there, they're onto you.
You're fucked.
Who
Yeah.
you got, Billy?
Suge Knight,
I think it was either
taking
Elvis,
allegedly.
I'm taking P. Diddy.
Elvis or JFK Jr. He's not actually dead. Well, no,
Wait,
he was
Billy.
dead. He died after.
Was Suge Knight not in the car when it got shot up?
I have no idea.
Okay, good.
He might be the one person in the world with a rock solid alibi.
He was in Cuba.
Okay.
And then my cool throne is using the horns down. Because according to John McDade, the SEC's coordinator of officials, on penalizing for horns down signal in 24, unsportsmanlike conduct needs to fit one of three categories. Is it taunting an opponent? Is it making a travesty of the game? Is it otherwise compromising our ability to manage the game? And he said that you can use horns down against Texas.
Oh, so you can. It's back.
It's back.
Nice.
Cool throne. It's back. You can horns down.
They should never. It should never have been banned. Like if you could do something, you can get it done to you. That's how it works.
That was also like the Big 12's dying attempt to get Texas to stick around for a long time.
Yeah, we won't make fun of you.
Just for you.
Yeah, we won't bully you anymore. You can stay.
And the same applies to the gator chomp and land shark signals. So
Okay.
it's all up for grabs.
All right, nice. Like it. All right, Jake.
My hot seat's the New York Jets. Adam Schefter reported today that they will not be giving NFL Films and HBO as much access to Hard Knocks this year.
Yeah, they're not going to show guys getting cut.
They're not going to show guys getting cut, so it might be a more like PG version. So it's going to be different.
Yeah,
It's always awkward watching those scenes.
it is.
Yeah.
I understand why they put it in there because if you're making a TV show, you have to have highs and lows. You have to show drama. You have to show people sad at different bad parts of their life. But at the same time, it felt like a very personal moment that everybody was involved with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of pussy by the Jets.
No, very smart.
Oh, okay.
They don't want their team getting turned into a circus, which is what they're going to try to do.
Nice.
Just, if I was Aaron Rodgers or Zach Wilson, I would just try not to involve yourself.
It also fits perfectly with how we've been watching Hard Knocks the last few years. Like episode 1 and 2, we get very excited for, and then we kind of forget that it keeps going.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. I wasn't even going to watch that episode anyway. Remember, there's always one episode that's like comes out after college football starts. You're like, real football's on. I'm good.
Yeah. If there is a suspension for like PEDs, though, I want to see that moment.
Yeah. I want to see someone get popped.
Those are
Okay. Your cool
Psychoactive?
throne?
My cool throne is Publix. A few days ago, Messi was shopping at Publix with his family. It was a big deal.
Yes.
Pretty crazy.
In front of High Noon, too.
Yeah, in front of High Noon. So
Yeah.
shout out Publix.
Yeah.
Pub subs.
Pub subs. Yeah, Messi. I thought that he was going to be a little more anonymous, but because at first I was like, oh, this is perfect for him. He kind of can live his life. He was getting hounded at Publix, which makes sense because he is Messi.
Yeah. I mean, it's as close as you can get to having a normal shopping trip if you're Messi.
I also-
It'd be way worse if it was overseas somewhere.
I had a Messi, Lionel Messi moment the other day. I took my son to his friend's birthday party, and there was like older kids there, and they were getting their sports takes off, and one of them was like, "Messi sucks," and I was like the Arthur meme. I was like, "Don't you say that!" And then I realized I was reprimanding a 7-year-old that was not mine. So
Yeah.
the kid also was like, "LeBron James the GOAT, and maybe Kobe too." I was like, "What the fuck?"
This kid had terrible takes.
Yeah,
Better than Max, though.
you got to respect the take. Yeah, right. Better than Max, but you also got to respect the take. Like the take game, just that he's out there spitting them. I respected it.
I would actually love to see that kid debate Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Just get Skip debating a 7-year-old.
Yeah. Why not? Why it might end up being that for his show. Okay, let's get to our interviews. We got Rick Reilly, and then we're gonna do Mount Rushmore in between, Mount Rushmore of running backs, and then we will have Kirk and Riggs with some bets and finish up with Jimbos.
before we get into Rick Reilly, he's brought to you by Body Armor. It's time for an interview with Rick Reilly. Shout out to Body Armor. Body Armor sports drinks help us stay hydrated throughout our interviews with the biggest guests in the world. They're packed with electrolytes, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial flavors, no dyes. Body Armor sports drink hydrates today's athletes during competition and, more importantly, us during interviews. Buy some Body Armor today on Amazon. We've got it all around the office. That's what I miss the most about working out of the office. All the Body Armor you could drink. I was the most hydrated kid in the world. Buy Body Armor now on Amazon. Body Armor is available now on Amazon. Check it out. And now, here's Rick Reilly.
Okay, we now welcome on recurring guest, author, columnist, sportsman. It is Rick Reilly, hero. Rick Reilly, recurring guest. He's got a new book out that is called So Help Me Golf. All true stories he's never told about people in the game. And we're here. It's right in front of the Open Championship. Rick, first of all, we haven't seen you in a few years. It's great to have you back on. My first question was, what are you doing other than writing a book? Because you, I think, have figured out a life hack to like have the greatest semi-retirement of all time in sports media.
Yeah. Well, we live in Italy a couple months a year, and we bought a house in Sedona, Arizona. We live down there, and it's kind of a great place when you have an occasional magic mushroom. and then we live at the beach in LA, and so I work occasionally once a month for the Washington Post, and we got a writer's strike, so I got a streamer about to go, and suddenly now it's not going anywhere. But okay. I write movies, and I'm writing a novel, and I'm writing my next book.
Yeah. I mean, Rick, I think we talked about this last time you were on the show, but especially your columns at the end of Sports Illustrated, that was like that was our childhood growing up. I read that column every day. I think I told you last time that probably more people have used the bathroom while reading your columns than any other piece of writing in the history of the world. It was like the link was the perfect amount of time to go in, take a quick dump, read Rick Reilly, and then leave. So I basically bought Sports Illustrated just for you for years.
You're not lying. I can't tell you how many people would come to me and go, I take my Friday morning dump reading you. And he'll have his hand out. And I'm like, great, but I'm not shaking that hand. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. It really was like a big part of our childhood. We're in that perfect age range when the sports, like kind of the end of sports columnists being celebrities in a way, where it's like, oh, you remember reading them. So back to your retirement, or semi-retirement. That sounds phenomenal. You have figured it all out. I think we might have discussed this when we saw you in person last time you were on, but do you look back and realize, like, man, I crushed this landing? Because there was a moment where I think you would probably even say, like, you were in a weird role at ESPN, on air, it didn't really work out that well. Like, hey, is Rick Reilly going to become like someone we laugh at, or is he going to be able to figure this out? And sounds like you completely figured it out and have the best life I've ever heard.
Well, I was like the last guy, before Disneyland burned down. I think I got a great deal. And then when that deal was over, they were starting to fire everybody. And I think it's the same with SI. I mean, I got out of SI at the perfect time. And people now, you see SI and it's like a pamphlet comes out. I don't even know when it comes out now. Magazines are dead. I mean, when I was at the LA Times, I think we had 60 writers and editors. They're down to 7. So the whole world of print media is not what it used to be. And you're right. It's a whole different world when anybody can have a column and anybody can have an opinion that's got a couch and an internet and a computer, then you're not that special anymore. So that's why I think I got out at a pretty good time.
Have you ever thought, though, about bringing back the one column a week? Because I feel like there would still be a market for Rick Reilly's takes on a Friday morning if you just redid that column, but on the internet.
You could just tweet it, the long tweet.
But how? But you understand, I don't want to work.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why I've been offered 1 million podcasts, and could I do a radio show? And I'm like, well, it kind of sounds like work. Well, yeah, it would be work. Well, I don't want to work. So I like to write 2 hours a day. That's all I do. And then the rest of the time, we're either in Vietnam or Italy. We just got back from golf in Ireland. We go to Turkey a lot. I mean, it's too good. I mean, why work if you don't have to work?
That's a great point. Yeah, I was thinking selfishly, like I would like to read Rick Reilly's column still, but then
I do occasional funny one in the Washington Post, but I don't know if you subscribe to that.
Okay. So you have a new book out. So Help Me Golf. Let's talk about it. Your love affair with golf. You hated golf when you were a kid, correct? And then what was the moment you fell in love with golf?
Right. Well, my dad was a drunk golfer, and he'd come home abusive, and it was, you hid. When my dad came home from golf, you hid. Except, you were worried about your mom, and, I was the youngest by 5 years. So it was scary. It was terrifying. And when you'd hear he'd forget to take off his cleats, and you'd hear that click, click, click on the sidewalk. And God, that sound still gives me the chills. And you would be scared. And he broke my mom's nose once. And it was I just blamed golf. I thought golf was where dads went to get drunk and ruin home life, And so when my dad gave my older brother, his old clubs, he goes, come on, we're going. I was 11, I think. We're going to the range. I'm not going to the golf course ever. A, Dad might be there. B, I hate golf. He goes, no, you're going to love it. And I went there with him and just watched him hit these soaring drives. And I'm like, wow, other dads aren't really drunk. And this is really cool. And you're outside and it was really fun. And you got to bet Dr. Peppers. And so I kind of developed this sick obsessiveness with golf. And it became this thing that I couldn't get enough of. And so that's what I wrote about in this book, these 45 years worth of stories about real things that have happened in golf that are either funny or amazing or emotional. And during COVID, I finally had time to write it.
Yeah. So it sounds interesting. I actually have a golf story for you. I don't know if you know this, but it coincides with your two biggest, interests in writing about recently, President Trump and golf.
Yes.
So I got a DM that was sent to me a couple of years ago about going for a round of golf with there was a guy that was playing with Papa John and with Trump at the same time. And throughout the round, Papa John started busting Trump's balls for cheating and started calling him out on some of the stuff, right? A real battle of the Titans going at it.
Yes.
And by the end of the round, they get to the clubhouse and Trump had told his guys to order Pizza Hut pizzas for everybody that was in the clubhouse. So like dozens and dozens of Pizza Hut pizzas were waiting in the clubhouse, and he handed one to Papa John when they got in at the end of it, just to be like, fuck you. You don't get to call me out for cheating. I'm going to order Pizza Hut for everybody.
Okay. So I wrote this book. I think you can see it in the background. It's called Commander in Chief, because I'm in Italy and he's running for president. And he goes, I'm the best. I'm a champion. I've won 18 club championships, and that's against the best guys, the young guys, no strokes. I'm like, you liar. Because he'd already told me when I played with him for Who's Your Caddy that the way he wins club championships is when he buys a new course, he plays the first round by himself, and he calls that the club championship.
I love that.
And he won 12 that way. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I started looking into the other 6. And then a guy says, well, yeah, one time he won here, but it was in New Jersey at Bedminster, but he was in Philly. And he called in and said, hey, man, I shot what won Bedminster today in the club championship? And the guy goes, 73. He goes, I shot 71 here. Make me the champion. And then he just kept doing it. Like one year he won in North Korea. He wasn't even in Florida. And he said he came back and played the guy 9 holes, said he beat him. And so then he was a club championship of that. And how about the other day? He wins a club championship 2 days. I think it was at Bedminster, but he only played one of them because his tweets and his social media showed that he was in North Carolina at some funeral on the first day. He's like, well, I would have beat those guys.
Yeah. I kind of like the fact that he just takes claim of all these wins. Like if I had a ton of fuck you money, I think I would pay people to like stand in the woods and just drop my ball in the drive in the fairway. So like I didn't know that I was out of bounds, but I could just basically shoot a great score all the time and have people do that for me.
You're talking about Mr. Burns and Smithers.
Yeah, right.
The caddies at Wingfoot call him Pele because he kicks the ball so much. When I play with him, he took 7 gimmies. He took a gimme chip in. I never heard of a gimme chip in. He said, why would we make that? I'm like, you chipped like Edward Scissorhands. And did you see that video like a week ago?
Yeah.
Where he completely shanked it at LA. And so since the book came out, and it was eye-popping stuff, the more I researched it, the more ridiculous it got. But since the book came out, I've gotten all these calls, and I get a call from the caddy master at Bedminster, and he goes, "You don't get it. We have to buy him 500 count bags of long green teas, 4 inches high." And I'm like, "So it's perfectly legal." He goes, "No, it's for the caddies to tee him up in the rough."
Yes.
Wow, that would make you a 3 handicap pretty quick.
I mean, you saw the press release though when he shot that hole in one. He was playing with Ernie Els, and it was the most grandiose press release that I've ever seen in my life. There's no way that he made that entire story up. He was playing with a foursome of talented golfers that co-signed it
into a stiff wind.
Very exciting. Yeah. Everyone's talking about it.
Ernie's not going to lie, but there is a hole in one he made at Bronx Ferry, a plaque. He made it on the first day, and I've now had 3 people tell me after the book, of course, he didn't make a hole in one there. He just wanted a plaque. So, he's a nice golfer. He's a 9. He's a 10. Tiger says he's like an 11. I think most people think he's now like a 12 or 13. But he says he's a 3. He says he's a 2.8, which I said in the book. If he's a 2.8, then Queen Elizabeth is a pole vaulter. Because I've played with the guy.
Too soon, Rick. She passed away.
Rick, where are you at with Tiger these days? Because I feel like you had a interesting history with him. Is he your GOAT, or is it you guys? When was the last time you guys spoke?
Well, Tiger shut down me in 1997. He said, "I'm not giving you any more one-on-ones." And I said, "Why?" He says, "Because you're always asking questions." I'm like, yeah, that's the job. But the thing is, I was a Phil guy. I loved Phil. Phil, I thought, was the best guy for me out there. He was always telling stories. He tipped people $500. Well, he comes to my club in LA and he'll play and he'll tip the guy $700, the caddy, and the caddy doesn't have to carry the clubs. Phil carries the clubs just for workout. So I always loved Phil until he sold his soul to the devil, went to the Live, which I hope everybody in Live dies in a fiery boat accident. I hate Live.
Minus Brooks.
I hate the whole idea of it. Imagine, you guys, if they took half the NFL and said, "Hey, half the teams are going to move to Saudi Arabia. We're going to pay them 5 times what they're worth. They're only going to play 3 quarters, and you're going to not ever see these. You'll never get to see these week after week playing each other." That's what happened to my sport. And so, now we've got this baloney deal with the PGA Tour, who I understand they were going to lose because money always wins. But it's still, you understand, the Saudis kill protesters. They behead protesters. They put gays in jail. They killed Jamal Khashoggi of the Washington Post. They might have funded a lot of the 9/11. So everyone says, never forget 9/11. Well, don't forget it. Don't forget it, Jimmy Dunn. Your company was in the World Trade Center, and now you're in bed with the Saudis. I mean, and you know how many, sorry to rant, but do you know how many golf courses Saudi Arabia has? Full 18-hole with grass. They got 9. They don't care about golf. They're trying to sports wash their image. And a bunch of these guys took the money so they could get new jets, and Phil was one of them. But Tiger didn't. And so I love Tiger for that.
Right.
Okay.
So kind of my position on the Live Tour, and it's evolved over the course of the last year, is that I don't blame the players at all. The players were offered life-changing money, and the ones that stuck around were sold a bill of goods by the PGA saying, hey, you can't go to these guys, like all the stuff you just said, right? They basically said all that to their players and said, you don't want to be in bed with these same guys that kill journalists. They might have funded 9/11, all this stuff. And then the PGA just goes and does an about face and welcomes the Live merger. I don't blame the players. If you're offered life-changing money, if you're offered $100 billion to do anything, do it. Do it, because you're not going to get that money over here to the United States. And it looks like the guys that ended up taking the money, they came out looking better than we all thought at the start, because it was their own people at the PGA Tour that were kind of suppressing the earning ability of their own players at the end until it became an opportunity for them to make money off of it.
Well, no one thought they were suppressing the earning ability until the Saudis came along and just gave away stupid monopoly money. But I want to comment on what you're saying is Phil couldn't have made that in the U.S. He could. he was always in the top 10 athletes who made about $40 million a year in endorsements, lost all those. He had Faldo's job gift wrapped for him at CBS. He was going to make about 14 to 15 a year in that. It was just a dumb, selfish move. And what he said was, I'm not doing it. He admitted that the Saudis are motherfuckers. He admitted it. But he said, I'm trying to teach the PGA a lesson. So like, it'd be like a guy going, hey, yeah, I slept with my secretary because I want to teach you, my wife, a better, a lesson on how to treat me. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to do that. So, I mean, I see what you mean for a Pat Perez or a player like that, a Taylor Gooch. They're going to
like Bubba Watson, whose son was always asking about the Aces. How are the Aces doing this weekend?
And also counterpoint with Phil. He had to pay his gambling debts. So if he was a better gambler, maybe history looks different.
Well, Billy Walters' book comes out next month, and that is going to be wild.
Yeah,
because I know Billy, and I kind of know about the book. It doesn't come out till I think August 25th, but apparently there's a chapter in there about Phil that's going to blow people out of the water.
Okay, I'm excited. So let's go back to your book. So what? I mean, you told the story. I didn't know the story about your dad and how you didn't like golf growing up. So you fall in love with the game. What's your favorite like story from the book, or maybe favorite course you've played? Because this podcast has actually gotten into golf a little too much. Our producer Hank is obsessed. That's all he does. But I'm trying to be supportive and be like, go ahead. Don't work anymore. Go play golf.
Okay, did you guys know there was a guy on tour in 1977, a guy named Ricky Meisner, who was a tour rabbit. It means you had to qualify on Monday. If you were one of the 10 guys that got through on Monday out of 100, then you got to play Thursday. Well, he was doing badly. He was down to where he was sleeping in his car. He was eating at campsites on his hibachi, and he was going to have to go home. And he didn't want to go home, so he started robbing banks. This guy, Ricky Meisner, robbed 19 banks on tour in 1977. And he would change the plates on his car, put on a fake mustache and a wig. He had a vinyl briefcase and a gun, but he didn't have any bullets. And he would go in and give me all your money. But he was very polite. And this bandit became known as the Gentleman Bandit that year, who was, tellers would cry and he would comfort them and then still take the money. And then he got to Memphis. He got to Tallahassee, summer of 1977, and he gets through. He finally breaks through, and he's starting on Thursday. This is a guy at that point had robbed 18 banks. He breaks through. He leads the Tallahassee Open in 1977. He's ahead of Trevino, Hugh B. Green, Weiskopf. He's on top, and the press are like, "Where you been?" And he's like, "Oh, I've really been working on my game." But what they don't get is that every Tuesday when he missed the cut, he was robbing banks. And so anyway, he shoots the 66, leads the Tallahassee Open. Next day, 76. Next day, 78. Next day, 80, finishes dead last. And he's so pissed that the next morning, as he's leaving Tallahassee, he goes to rob a bank, but he forgets to change the license plates. Gets, I think, $5,000 or something. He's leaving town. Car's right there. He gets busted. He gets 25 years in jail. But if you Google him, he did lead the tour in money that year.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Incredible.
You're like Chiefsaholic, kind of.
Yeah.
I wrote about the Chiefsaholic for the Washington Post. Did you follow these guys' tweets?
Yeah, we did. So we sent our best man, Billy Football, to go try to track him down in Kansas City. Went looking for him. We were thinking that this year the perfect crime would have been because he was out on I guess he skipped bail and then he was MIA. He should have gone to different Chiefs games every year, or every week, but dressed up as super fans from the opposing team, and nobody would have ever found him.
It's so good. It's like that movie with Bill Murray. I was just praying that this guy wore the wolf costume to rob the bank.
Yeah.
He didn't. He wore a paintball mask, and all he had was a paintball gun. I don't know if people realize that. Like, why would you give this guy money if you're just going to get shot up with blue and purple? But then the fact that he was on the lam for 2 months was wonderful.
Yeah, it was an incredible story.
Crazy story. So, Rick, it is the week of the Open. you actually had a front row seat to history at the Open Championship. You were there on 18 when Van de Velde melted down, right?
Ooh.
Yes.
What was that like in person? Just watch, because I still remember watching on TV. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch this guy just completely blow it on the 18th hole of the final round. He ends up taking his shoes off to try to hit a shot out of the water. But what was it like for you being front and center?
He's got a 3-shot lead, 18th hole, Carnoustie, which they call Carnasty because it's so hard, especially those last 3 holes. And there's all these water and canals, and it's kind of an ugly course, and it's nothing but trouble. But he's got a 3-shot lead. He's this French guy. He's got this French little caddy with a little goatee, and we'd always talk to this caddy afterwards. And so he's pulling out driver, and we're standing there like, what is he doing? Driver? No. You can hit a 5-iron, wedge on, win the thing by 2 shots. Pulls out driver, blocks it way right. Now he's in deep gunch. He's got grandstands in the way, and we're like, well, clearly now he's going to wedge on, 9-iron, wedge onto the fairway, 9-iron on, and win by 2 shots. No, he takes 2-iron out of the gunch, and he hits it bad, hits the stands, goes back, gets worse, hits it again, knocks that into the water, and then he finally gets into the water with his socks and shoes off like he's going to hit it. It's got to be 6 inches deep in the water. And he stood there. I'll never forget. He stood there with his arms on his hips like, I am the king of the world. I'm going to pull this off. And we're like, oh, no. And he finally takes the drop, knocks it up, makes like a 12-footer even to make the playoff, and loses in the playoff to Justin Leonard. So we go find the caddy. We find the French caddy. And we're like, Christophe, why did you have him hit driver? Oh, he's so good with his driver. Well, why didn't you just wedge out of that lie behind the stands? Oh, the lie, it was parfait. We're like, Christophe, you blew it. You should have broken every club but the wedge, and you'd be the champion. It's very, very sad.
Yeah. Was that hard to watch up close?
I mean, it was unbelievable. It was like surreal. Yeah. And it ruined his life. His wife divorced him, not because he lost, but he just became depressed. And he's a really nice guy. But I mean, he really didn't crack an egg after that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's an all-time video for people who haven't seen it. That image of him in the water is just, what are you doing? What are you doing? So in terms of
much history, I mean, I had a long career. I mean, I'll never forget Tiger coming to this course starting Thursday and hit one driver. He hit one driver in 72 holes. I saw Nick Faldo win the Open at St. Andrews, never 3-putted. I mean, I was there when Nicklaus came from 5 shots down with 9 to play at Augusta in 86, and women were climbing trees in dresses. It was nuts. And the guys that were supposed to be running the hot dog stand and the ice cream stand just ran. Everything was chaos because Jack Nicklaus at 46, who hadn't done anything in 4 years, was going to win the Open. He could barely see the ball land. He had his caddy, his son as his caddy, and he'd be like, where is it? Because he didn't know. Remember, he putted with that long Hoover attachment putter? And it's funny, in the book, I said, where is that putter? I was at his house. And he goes, I don't know where that putter is. And I'm like, you don't know where the putter is that won the 86 Masters? No, because he's got this grass tennis court outside his office window. He said, tennis players come all the time to get ready for Wimbledon on my court. And I remember a tennis player took it, and I never got it back. And so I finally found it. This guy named, he died. His name was Stockton. And his wife had it. His wife had it in the garage. So she sent it to Nicklaus's museum.
Incredible. I mean, the history of golf and all the stories, especially because it feels like golf, I know the live stuff has been weird this past year or 2 years, but it does feel like golf is getting bigger and bigger with new audiences. Who's your favorite golfer right now? Or who's the guy maybe you're rooting for this weekend that you're like, this is a guy I could see writing a book about in 20 years?
Homa.
Okay.
Max Homa's hilarious.
Nice. He's our guy, yeah.
Yeah, love
Is he
Max.
your guy?
Yeah.
I love it when people send him swings and they want feedback, and he'll be like, take the club back farther and then throw it in the garage and never play again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or he'll go, really, there's no hope for you. He's so good on Twitter. He's so smart. I'd love to see him win this. I don't care, though. I just don't want anybody from Liv, and I'm afraid Cam Smith's going to win it because he's hot as can be. Rory, I stopped betting on Rory years ago. I think John Rahm could win it. He's just unstoppable. I'm trying to make my backswing as short as him. So I think it's going to be a terrific Open, but I just don't want any Liv players.
I would
except Brooks.
I would love to see Brooks win.
Yeah, Brooks is our guy.
Brooks?
Yeah, Brooks is our guy. We're big fans of Brooks. He's become a friend, and all he does is you have to at least respect the fact that he just shows up for the biggest events, and he's got to be. You tell me if I'm wrong, but Brooks has to be. He's not in the same conversation as Tiger, but in terms of showing up for majors and when the pressure's on, like playing his best golf, he is the closest to that right now.
Yeah, that's the only time he seems to care. He doesn't give a rat's ass about every Buick Open that comes along. He doesn't care. He just wants to lift and screw around. And the thing is, though, why I don't blame Brooks or Dustin Johnson about the Saudi thing, I don't think they know where Saudi Arabia is. I don't think they have any idea. It's like when Rodman went to Korea and didn't know there were two Koreas. I guarantee you Dustin Johnson didn't know where Saudi Arabia was or what they meant. One time I wrote this line about Dustin. I said, Dustin Johnson is so dense, light bends around him. And I asked his agent the next day, was he mad about that line? And his agent goes, he had no idea what you meant.
Yeah.
So he took the money. But Phil knew. Phil understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Brooks, it's like it's hard to ask and demand of all of our athletes to be like the most geopolitically aware people in the world. These are conversations that should be happening at higher levels. And there is some truth to the fact that if you hate the public investment fund, if you hate Saudi Arabia, well, guess what? You probably give them money 9 times every day and you don't even know about it. If you ride in an Uber or you go to Chipotle, guess what? Some of that money going back to MBS.
Hey, I've covered athletes my whole life, and you're totally right. I ask too much of them. They make their money with their bodies, not their brains. You ever hear the story about Marvin Barnes, played for Providence?
No, tell us.
Marvin Barnes was this guy who played for Providence, and he had a terrific college career, and then he went pro, and he was into all kind of trouble, and he flunked out of the league in 2 years. He's living above a liquor store in Providence, and he's down on his luck. He's got a gun, puts on a ski mask. By the way, he's 7 foot tall. Puts on a ski mask, goes down, and robs the liquor store underneath his apartment. And he says, "Give me all your money." And the cashier's like, "Marvin, what are you doing?" And Marvin goes, "It ain't me." and so you're right. I should just be happy with what they can do with their bodies and not what they can do with their brains. And I should back off, but I just can't help it.
It's also there are serious discussions about everything that goes on with Liv and everything behind it. But one of the things that I think has been worked in our favor for this show is we've always realized that sports are an escape for a lot of people and they're supposed to be fun. And I just want to see the best players play against each other. That was my, one of the bigger parts of Liv is like not having Brooks for that brief period of time where it's like, oh, he's not going to get to play in the majors. They're going to ban him from stuff. I want to see the best compete against the best. I want to see great golf. I want to see like moments that make me, have memories for years and years and years. And that's really what I want from sports.
So you don't give a damn what they do in their off time. Guy beats his wife, killed a guy.
No, there's obviously, I'm not gonna root for people who are committing crimes, but I do think that it gets a little murky because people do want to just sit down and watch sports.
Yeah, you're right. That's one reason I didn't like to root for Tiger, because he was terrible with fans. He didn't tip people. He gets up from dinner tables and doesn't leave any money. He's not a nice guy. I don't think he's ever been a people person. He's very insular. He still just hangs out with his high school and college buddies, which is fine. But I think the world deserves more from you than that. And that's why I didn't like him. But then he stood up against Liv, and now I just love him for that. So, I guess you're right. I expect too much. I think too much is my problem.
Yeah, you got to be dumb like us. That's actually the real. That is no,
I
seriously.
didn't mean that.
No. I'm taking that as a compliment. I've always thought I have the perfect amount of intelligence where I'm not smart enough to understand complex issues, but I'm also a little bit smarter than the dumbest. So that's exactly where you want to be in life.
So you're somewhere right in
Somewhere
there.
right in the middle where you can understand like, oh, that might be a bad thing, and you can also say, hey, that's a dumb thing, but you never could really explain either side.
Right. You're not plagued by the geopolitical, social, and climate troubles of the world.
No, that shit. No, I don't lose any sleep on that shit.
Yeah.
No sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. I start with the bourbon at 6 o'clock, and I stop worrying about it too.
Rick, where are we at with the Broncos? I know that you hated Nathaniel Hackett. We got to meet Nathaniel Hackett at training camp last year, and he's the nicest guy in the world. You would actually love Nathaniel Hackett as a person.
I didn't hate Nathaniel Hackett. Just to set it, I've been a Bronco fan since they became a team. But he said, hey, after he fucked up the timeouts, he goes, I'm going to let someone else handle the timeouts. Then he completely screwed the play calling when he wanted a 63-yard field goal instead of going for it on 4th and 5. The guy had never kicked any. Well, I think he kicked this. It was to tie. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And so he goes, you know what? I'm not very good at play calling. I'm going to let someone else call the play. Well, what are you good at? What do you do? Fold the towels? Yeah, we can't have you around. So I love this. I love the Sean Payton fit. And I think that maybe he'll make Russell Wilson be a normal person. And also Sean Payton is a baller because he belongs to my club in LA, and somebody found his wallet on the course and had 15 grand of hundreds in it. 15 grand. And they give it back to him. And he's like, oh, thanks. Like he didn't really care. Baller. I love this guy.
So you think he can fix Russell?
No, I kind of think Russell's spent.
I do too, unfortunately. But yeah.
Hey, and also, could you not take yourself so seriously? Did you see where he was pretending on warm-up practice days to do the run out and do the low fives with people? I mean,
It's a reps.
Yeah.
You had an office and you don't have I'm buddies with Elway. And when you're a quarterback, you got to be in with the lineman, a regular guy. Peyton was like that too, doing stuff with those guys, being a regular guy. And Russell's not, I don't know what he thinks. He's going to be ambassador to Sweden or something. He's going to be the governor of Colorado. I don't know what he thinks, but he's not being a regular guy. And I hope Sean makes him just one of the 53 instead of, here comes Prince Russell.
Sounds like you've got a limited mindset. You're not unlimited like Russ. Like you would never do high knees on a plane ride over to your house in Italy, right? You probably just sit back, have a glass of wine, fall asleep.
Yeah, you don't have it in you to watch every single college quarterback in next year's draft and then tell the GM, hey, here are my thoughts.
Well, that's the thing. Peyton did do that, but he never talked about it.
Yeah, I know. It is true. The Russ stories always find a way to get out that make Russ look like the hardest worker ever. And you're like, what? Yeah. Who said that? How did this get out?
Peyton's so funny. I see him the other day, and he goes, I got a good one off on Elway the other day. I'm like, tell me. And he goes, well, I was talking to him. I said, John, when you won in 98 with the helicopter, you beat the you beat the Packers, 13-point underdogs. Pat Bowling stands up in front of all those 70,000 people. He goes, this one's for John. So I said to Elway, I go, how do you know he's talking about you? I mean, there's a lot of Johns.
I like it.
And Elway's like, you Peyton.
All right, so Rick, everyone should go buy Rick's new book, So Help Me Golf. I have one last question. It's a Roback question. RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Roback.com. Promo code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, everything. Roback.com. Promo code TAKE, 20% off. I know that we talked about this the first time you were on, but we have to bring it up again. Have you thought at all in the last couple of years about Kate Upton having 3 boobs?
Hey, I haven't. But
okay.
Didn't I win worst tweet last year?
It was something like that. It might have been the year before, but yeah, you had a takey for worst tweet. We just loved the 3. The 3 boobs.
Who won the takey for worst tweet?
This year, I don't know who actually We changed the categories because we forget. Again, back to the dumb part. We change the categories so nothing is consistent, which is very stupid and hard to follow. I think Ravel had a couple bad tweets that we threw in there.
Jay Williams had a couple.
Oh yeah, Jay Williams when he said he was not going to take the Georgetown job,
But
or he'd be interested in the Georgetown job.
Yeah, well, Rick, do you think that Kevin Durant joining the Suns was like Kate Upton getting a third boob?
Yeah. I've really gotten off the third boob thing, although I do like sci-fi movies. So, I think that's what happened there.
Okay.
But yeah, you were right to call me out. It wasn't a good tweet. As Bill Simmons always tells me, hey, every time you get in trouble on Twitter, just hang on. It's all over in 8 minutes.
Yes,
Right.
true.
And you guys killed me for 8 minutes, and I lived with it.
Oh no, we killed you
years.
for like 4 years. Yeah, no, it's been a long.
We still talk about whenever I make a Rick Riley-esque joke, Big Cat will award it points based on the Richter scale of how many Kate Upton boobs it gets.
Yeah, like 2.5
like it.
boobs.
What's
Yeah. We've surpassed 3 boobs before. Yeah.
Hey, but you're right about the there should be chips in a ball. Did you see that tweet I sent? There should be chips in the golf ball, and there's going to be, because I talked to the guy that's in charge of compliance, and he said we're going to allow that someday because you can have 10,000 people look. If Tiger hits a shot, he gets literally 10,000 people looking for his ball.
Yes.
Is that more fair than when you lose a ball? No, it's no different. So why can't a chip look for it? He even said we will allow those little tiny drones that are coming that will then be able to follow the ball after you hit it.
I love it.
That will be fine as long as nobody touches the ball until you get to it. And I said, so Patrick Reed is screwed. And he goes, yes.
I absolutely love that. It finally levels the playing field between me and Tiger Woods.
That's what
I've been waiting for. Yep. I'm like a Block. If only I could find my ball, I'd be as good as these guys on tour. I'd be as good as Rory.
And Rory's distance in finding the ball. I would be a world-class golfer.
Do you know what they call Patrick Reed on tour? Table for one.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. Yep. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of friends. Guy doesn't have a lot of friends.
Because he cheats.
Yeah. Well, and maybe he stole a couple wallets, but who cares? That was alleged. He does actually, though, for everything about Patrick Reed, his wife does have a burner account that tweets on his behalf. So, it is good. Like, there's probably guys out there that are beloved that don't have such a ride or die relationship with their spouse, and they're probably jealous in a weird way of Patrick Reed.
Well, speaking of people who tweet for other people, Trump hired his caddy to be his director of social media at the White House, this guy Dan. And sometimes you could see Dan was putting it on his account, some stupid tweet, and then forgetting that he was also putting it on Trump's account.
Yeah.
And
that's how Kevin Durant got
around the White House.
Yeah, that's how Kevin Durant got. Well, Rick, thank you as always. Hopefully we'll see you in person sometime soon. Maybe play some golf. Maybe get you in a golf video with us.
I'm coming to Chicago. I want to see that. I want to see the simulator.
Yes, I'm going to send it to you. It's going to be incredible.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Rick.
Real quick, I did find the Rick Riley tweets that might have won you a Takey Award for worst tweet. This is sent to us by Jake, actually.
Let's hear it.
Kicking a field goal when you're down 8 helps you the way a ham sandwich helps you when you're drowning. Dumbest move ever. Oh, that was LaFleur.
Yeah, that was LaFleur.
That was LaFleur. And then
we agree with that take.
Oh, you won the 2018 Takey for Rick Riley Joke of the Year. So you won your own award.
Nice.
It's Cam Newton after the game, and he's wearing a fez. And you say, when it comes to game info, Cam Newton is a fez dispenser.
That was bad.
That was a pretty good one.
I think that column was the time I timed how long it took Cam Newton to get ready after a game to talk to the press. And it was 57 minutes. And I think he did his hair for 10 minutes. He only has hair this long. And meanwhile, his whole team is waiting on the bus. And he wouldn't turn around. So I timed it because I'd seen it before. And then finally he turns around in all his magnificence and gives you nothing.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that came from.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, keep keep taking your shots, Rick. Keep taking your shots. No, keep taking your shots.
Come on, I've had notifications turned on for your tweets for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
So every time you tweet, I know about it.
It's also like you're basically like America's father. Like like dad jokes that you like kind of roll your eyes at, and you're like, but maybe deep down that was kind of funny.
Yeah, the thing about people hate. They think, oh, that's so clever and so punny. I mean, I break 2 teeth and I pull a hamstring trying to think of some of those things. You try it. It's not easy.
Yeah, you don't roll out of bed going 3 Upton boobs. Come on. Take some hard work.
I actually met Kate Upton once, and I'm thinking, I think she looked better with 3. I do.
Oh, we'll love it. Thank you, Rick, and hopefully we see you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Before we get to Mount Rushmore, it's brought to you by the Barstool Sportsbook. I've got the all-new redesigned Barstool Sportsbook right here on my phone. As a group, as a part of my take group, not only are we doing Fleetwood Mac, but we're also taking Colin Morikawa, Max Homa, and Terrell Hatton, that group, to all get a par or better on which hole is it, Hank?
One of the par threes.
One of the par threes. Not sure which one yet, but we just need pars or better from all 3 of those guys. You can download the Barstool Sportsbook today. Find it in the app stores. Download, sign up. Terms apply. Must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And now, Mount Rushmore.
Okay, Mount Rushmore time. We thought we'd do a Mount Rushmore of running backs to give them some love. We also realized we did the math, and we had taped a bunch of Mount Rushmores, and we were 1 short before Grit Week. So next on Friday, you'll see us all back together. Mount Rushmore season is getting intense, boys. We are in for a big-time August. What are the official standings?
Big Cat and PFT, 11 points. And then we have a 2-way tie for second and third. Me and Billy, Max and Hank, 10-10.
PFT, our penalty might end up killing us.
Yeah, I'll wear that one if that's the case.
You'll have to let me use you as a pillow.
That's fine.
I'll sleep on top of you.
I gotta take my hat off though to Billy and Jake. They've been on the tear of all tears recently. Congratulations, guys! Shocking. I'm shocked.
Incredible run. It's gonna be fun. I'm happy. Listen, it's good that we have some competition. Some contention before the first month of Mount Rushmore season. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. There was not going to be any drama. We're going to get drama. It's going to be intense.
Yeah, I for one would like to say that I think the time has come to remove the rule for Billy and Jake where we give them one extra 4th pick.
Yes.
They've leveled the playing field.
We're big boys now.
Saying that makes no sense, PFT.
That's going to get confusing now because remember we pre-taped
you
a bunch?
can't say that.
Also,
starting on Grit Week, they don't get a last pick twice.
Okay, yeah.
What?
I'm pretty sure the first one we recorded in Pinehurst, PFT was like, they have 0 points.
Yeah.
So that one hasn't aired yet.
So listen, we wanted to do Mount Rushmore season where we're all together. So that's why we taped a bunch. I think it's better product for the AWLs. And if you complain, I'll just take away your 8th AWL. Like that's simple. We can do that. We can take it away. But either way, yes. So we have one today. We'll go back to the pre-tape ones until Grit Week. Then once we're at Grit Week, it will be live throughout the rest of August. So that's the schedule. Mount Rushmore of running backs. Who's going first?
So on the doc, the last one we recorded was triangles.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Big Cat's team, our team, Hank's team. So that would mean us, Hank's team, Big Cat's team.
Fine with me. Let's go by the doc. Okay.
We're gonna need someone to start double checking that doc, Jake.
You have public access to it.
Oh, shit. Yes.
You know I don't
It
check
always
docs.
gives public access. Okay. Billy and Jake are on the clock. We're doing Mount Rushmore of running backs.
We're going 1-1, Bo Jackson.
Okay.
What the heck? We literally talked and agreed on a 1-1. What are you doing?
No, Jake, that's not a bad pick. Bo Jackson.
No, I know, but like we had a
what was our 1-1?
Down, Jake.
Fuck.
Oh, no.
Oh no! I always
my-
get them mixed up.
Oh,
Down,
no. Okay, Bo Jackson.
Shit.
I mean, electric running back.
I mean,
his
it's a
career,
good-
his
yeah.
career got cut
I don't know
short.
what that was.
Electric
We don't
running
know
back.
how good he really could have been.
That's true.
We also include the college career. That's
Yeah.
part of him as running
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a fine pick.
Yeah, it was a good pick.
Yeah, it's just how it went.
Okay.
That was Jake. That was a hard H.
No, yeah, I just was not expecting that. I'm like, that was truly blindsided.
Okay.
All right, that's our pick.
That is your pick.
All right. I'm also going to audible from R11, and we're going to go with Barry Sanders.
That was our 1-1 that we agreed on.
I was thinking, I was like, I don't want to say R11 because I feel like you can't mess that up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Max.
No, I like that. I like that for sure. We didn't.
It's a good
whatever.
pick.
It's a good pick. It's a good
Big
pick.
Cat, I would say that for a first pick, we should go number 5 on the list.
Oh,
Okay.
God, I did miss this.
Should we go? Should we? Because the only thing is we should also do 9. So the question is, do we do 2 old or do 2 and 9? So it's a little mix and match.
I think we go 9, 5,
Okay.
and then we dance our way to the end zone.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. All right. So our first pick is going to be Sweetness, Walter Payton. Easy first pick.
Love that pick for you guys.
What was
It's a good
that?
pick.
What is that?
It's a good pick.
Max, chill the fuck out.
What was that pick? What was that?
It's a good pick.
Are you patronizing? What-
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I like that pick for you.
I'm very confused. What's happening right now?
You usually don't give compliments like
Yeah,
this.
It's a good pick.
something suspect there.
You're getting excited because they didn't pick what you wanted.
Maybe.
But we
Okay.
get another pick.
So
Yeah, we
he's
have another pick.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, PFT.
Jim Brown,
The greatest athlete of all time.
Played against plumbers.
greatest athlete of all time,
Yeah,
greatest running back of all time. You actually see a lot of lists that people put out, and Jim Brown is number 1.
He was
Yeah.
a better lacrosse
I think we
player.
actually got both the number ones.
It's good to
Yeah,
know
we
that,
got-
morals and ethics mean nothing to you guys.
Oh, I'm going to take OJ next too.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that was
No.
we're taking OJ next.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice.
Right, so you
I mean,
guys
he
have
had to
OJ.
be picked. He had to be picked.
Had to be picked.
Had
Great
to be
running
picked.
back.
Yeah.
He changed the sport. He was the first celebrity running back, all superstar. Was the biggest celebrity in the world.
For
Legend.
what? For what reason was he the
Yeah.
biggest celebrity in the world?
He won the Heisman Trophy.
He was in movies.
He was in movies.
I think he was in movies.
Jim
Famous,
Brown was
famous
also
marriage.
Jim
he was
Brown
in the
was
tabloids all the time.
everything you said was the truth for Jim Brown. But yeah,
Well, yeah, I know. PFT ruined my joke there, but that's all right.
that's okay.
Separate the art from the artist.
Yeah,
Exactly.
okay. Peter King rules. We're not judging the human. We're judging the running back. Okay, good pick
Thank you.
We got
for a murderer.
2 now.
Double murder.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
Serial killer, actually.
Wait.
Still looking for him
Yeah, proven or
Yes.
in civil court. Yeah.
It was his son, allegedly.
Well, no, it sounds like you think it was his son.
No, it's a
So
very
just say it
convincing
with your
argument.
chest.
It's a
Say
very
it with your
convincing
chest.
argument.
Yeah, I've read. I also have read that random website.
didn't Jim Brown throw a lady off a fucking balcony?
Hey, we're celebrating running backs. Come on,
All
guys.
right, no, I mean if
What are
we're
we doing
you
here?
guys are the one that are saying
We're
think she
doing this
survived.
because we're trying to promote the position, right?
Yeah, it's about the position. We're giving running backs deserve the spotlight.
Yeah. Actually, Aaron Hernandez would qualify. He had that one season where they fed him the ball.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Jake, Billy.
Okay, first pick, Emmitt Smith.
Okay.
System.
Yeah.
yeah.
Great
Barry
cameo in
Beckford.
Little Giants. Remember when he pulled up in the RV with John Madden?
Okay.
Not really.
Really?
No, I mean, we're talking about on the field. We made on the field picks.
Yeah. Running backs.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has
how
a
many yards
Migos
Barry Sanders
song
would have
about
had in Emmitt Smith's system for that
Yeah.
offensive line.
Shout out Daryl Johnson. He was the real running back there.
Yep.
Migos.
Okay. Next pick.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Okay, good pick.
Good picks.
Good pick.
Boom.
He was electric. Good pick. Good pick. See, we can all be positive.
All right, our next pick, most exciting running back I think in my lifetime to watch, Marshawn Lynch.
Okay.
Good choice.
One-time Super Bowl champ, thankfully not 2. Just the highlights. I mean, we have Barry Sanders and Marshawn Lynch highlights are 2 of the top 5 running back highlights of all time.
Okay. Good
Fact or
pick.
fiction?
Good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good pick. PFT, we have so many that we have to pick from.
Okay, so 12 would be a good one.
Yes, I'd agree. I'd agree. I you guys hate this. I think we could go 12 or 12, 15
What about
or
4?
24 or 24.
Why'd you make a list that long?
Because they're trying to make it seem like they had so many.
We have
that they're
25
just playing
listed.
with us.
26, actually.
26, yes.
My mom had a big critique of this part.
Oh, she
Big
did?
critique, yes.
Oh, let me
Yes.
hear it.
Didn't
From
like-
another loser. Let me
like
hear.
didn't like the numbers. Didn't like the numbers.
Sorry, mother of a loser. She's not a loser. Big difference.
All right. You know what? I say we just go at 12 right now.
Yeah, well, we have 2 picks, so we have to plan that out. We have to plan out a second move. But yes, go with 12.
Adrian Peterson.
Yes.
Adrian Peterson played for forever.
Forever.
It wouldn't surprise me if Adrian Peterson came back and played again next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's always like kind of sniffing around. Had one of the most electric seasons I've ever seen after he tore his ACL. Also a great college career, however brief it was. Just awesome running back.
Yes.
Officially retired?
I think he's officially retired.
Because wasn't
The,
he playing like?
I think he was on the Colts for a minute.
Yeah, he played
last
for
year.
someone random.
All right, PFT. I'll go with the last pick here. I think we're what we're doing is we're basically bridging every single age gap. We're getting like the best running back from all different decades. We'll go with the King, Derrick Henry, for our last pick. Just the best to watch. Tractor Cito. Just fucking. I saw a highlight the other day. Remember that 99-yard run he had against the Jaguars? That fucking ruled. He is an ode to the running back. He's like kind of the torchbearer for all the running backs before him and the respect of the position. Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and it's just so much fun to watch him stiff arm people.
Yes, facts. I like this. We have all different. You know, I was going to go maybe old school again, but let's get one current guy.
That's good.
Yeah, we're also going to bridge the gap here, from reality into, the big screen.
Oh.
And we're going to take Tim Riggins.
Oh. Okay. Cool. So you had only
We were 50,
you could only
50
think of 3 real running backs.
No, I was just thinking of the greatest running backs of all time, the people that I love to watch play the game. And Tim Riggins, despite, his quarterback getting paralyzed, he still was out, carried his team to victory, was banging all the hottest girls.
Leader, real
Just
leader.
A legendary running back. Texas forever. Who says that? Tim Riggins.
Okay.
He's not even the best Riggins.
Yeah.
Who is?
John.
He's a running
Running
back?
behind the Hogs. Yeah.
Yes, he's a running back. Won a Super Bowl.
Sounds like you should have picked him. Where was he on your list?
He
was on
was. Yeah, he was there.
What number?
The numbers don't correlate to.
Well, I'm just
11.
you never
11. He was 11.
You never even debated picking him. So
No, we said it. We said 11.
No, you
Okay,
didn't.
last one.
So we were 50-50 between taking Tim Riggins or a real running back.
Again, it's sad that you guys can only think of 3 real running
Christian.
backs.
No!
Oh.
No!
I heard it.
Marshall
I
Falk.
think
He said Christian McCaffrey.
Billy, what the heck are
Stop
you
grabbing
doing?
the microphone. He said Christian McCaffrey.
You're the worst. You're just punting on. You're literally. We had such a good thing going. We won 5 in a row, and you just punted on this because you want a free trip to Chicago.
Christian McCaffrey's a good pick. Like he's
Marshall
he's
Falk
electric.
has a.
Marshall Falk is a better pick.
Better pick,
the fact that he went undrafted, I can already see it. What got left off the list? Everyone's going to say that.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised you didn't take Herschel Walker, PFT.
Yeah, Herschel also artist guy.
All right. So what got left out? A ton. Marshall Falk.
I'm banning Billy from announcing picks.
Oh, you
That's
can't
illegal.
do that.
Do you have the authority to do
With
that?
the team, yeah. What are you talking
It's like
about?
Kraft Belichick all over again.
I would never ban PFT, and
Well,
PFT would never ban me.
no.
Same.
Okay. Well, we have some issues right now because he's taking over. He's taking over.
It was a good pick, Billy. It wasn't Marshall
Did he
Falk.
get we have to review the tape. Did you get all the McCaffrey all the way out? Like,
Yeah, he did.
Is there an
He
appeal
did.
process?
I heard it. We all heard it. Christian McCaffrey was said. It was said. Good pick, Billy.
How are we going to compete against Derrick Henry? Like
Marshall Falk is a really good running back. So
He
is
is a
Barry
very
Sanders,
good.
and you couldn't say his name properly.
Wait, what do you mean he couldn't?
On
say-
1-1.
Wait, but he actually couldn't say his name, or he just forgot his
He just
name?
forgot to say that we agreed to say Barry Sanders.
Got it.
Billy said he always gets those two names confused.
Yes. we were on an unreal hot streak, and he just punted on this one.
No, I don't think so. We'll see.
I mean, I hope I'm wrong.
All right.
Niners fans will get us.
Okay.
Shout out Niners fans.
At 8 a.m.
Yes.
7 in the
9
morning.
a.m.
9 a.m. Yeah. All right. Ones we missed a ton, obviously.
Marshall Faulk,
Frank Gore, Gale Sayers.
The bus.
Oh, yeah.
That was going to be, I don't know, that one, I'll wear it. You know, me and Max were talking about it. I think if we lose because of Tim Riggins, that was the mistake.
The bus.
It would have been the bus.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to take the best stat lines from any one game of all time in NFL history, the game where Jerome Bettis had like 3 touchdowns for, I think it was 4 yards rushing on 3 attempts, that is my favorite stat line ever.
Yes.
The two that I wonder, I mean, I'm assuming they're on your list. You guys had a massive list that Max talked me out of that I wanted to pick were Jamal Lewis and Priest Holmes.
Priest Holmes,
Yes,
I did not say Priest Holmes.
I loved Priest Holmes.
Jamal Lewis, I didn't love. I didn't love that name. I like Jamal Lewis, but I think he was kind of not as
Didn't
a
he have like
flash.
the greatest season of all time before
He
Adrian
had
Peterson?
3,000 yards, yeah.
Priest Holmes also has a great name. Like Priest Holmes is a sick name.
Priest Holmes is awesome. Chris Johnson gets lost in the shuffle. Was electric.
Corey Dillon.
Mike Allstott.
Mike Allstott. Curtis Martin.
We almost took that just to fuck with the PFT, but we're not. We're playing our game, not worrying about you guys.
You guys usually, you guys you pick
Ed
pissing in a
Sheeran not being
sink.
able to.
We got like
Yeah.
8% on that one.
By the way,
Pissing your pants.
one of my favorite running backs just to watch and probably doesn't even fall into this category, LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can win a Super Bowl with him. Reggie Bush should be honorable mention just because his college career was so much fun to watch.
I said that too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ricky Williams.
Yep.
Kind of the same thing, his college career combined with everything that he did in the NFL. Just crazy shit from day one. He hired Master P to be his agent, signed the worst contract ever, left to go smoke weed in Australia for like 3 years, then came back and dominated.
Yeah. Arian Foster.
We had him. Yeah.
David Montgomery for the run.
Who can forget?
Who can forget? We'll always have the run. I mean, if you think of legendary runs, he's if we did a Mount Rushmore of legendary runs, that's number one.
We need to put the run in the YouTube.
Yes.
The Quigs run.
The highlights. Yeah.
If you saw put David Montgomery's run in there. You can't. The clip. Put a reenactment. Have Quiggs run. Have Quiggs run with the Bears helmet on. Put it in there. Show that clip again with Quiggs. The run.
From the Cheesehead Den.
Play the run again.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite run.
Sean Alexander was on our list, but I don't really like Sean Alexander that much.
No.
He was another system guy.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge Sean Alexander fan as well, although he did put up massive numbers. Good list though, guys. Eric Dickerson. This is good.
Dickerson was a miss.
Yeah,
Good promotion of the running back.
Yeah, we need the running backs
when they need it.
Yeah, the running backs need a little more shine, and we gave it to them. We should do Mount. Well, that would be mean to do Mount Rushmore of like your least favorite running backs.
I think I would put Sean Alexander on that list.
Yeah, Cedric Benson I think passed away, so we can't do that.
I'd have OJ on my list of least favorite, just for the record.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
I guess I'm opposed
This
to
wasn't a
murder.
Mount Rushmore about favorite running backs.
Yeah,
It was just about the best.
but I'm
running
saying we
backs.
could do if we did favorite Matt Forte. He gets lost in the shuffle too.
Shady.
Recurring
Love
guest.
Shady.
LaShawn McCoy.
He's my favorite.
Mhm.
One of my favorite football players.
Le'Veon
What
Bell,
about-
another one that's
Cordero
not.
Patterson.
Didn't like. What about our guy playoff Lenny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to talk
All-time
about pass blocking? Clinton Portis.
Yeah,
Darren
Maybe
Sproles is
the
his
best pass
favorite
blocking
too.
running
Willis
back of all
McGahee.
time.
Darren Sproles is a good pick. He's a little water bug out there.
Yeah, he's the
fucking
best.
going
Maurice
nuts.
Jones-Drew.
Nobody dislikes Darren Sproles.
Yeah, Maurice Jones-Drew. That's a good one. Oh wait, did we say Frank Gore?
Yeah, he was
Frank
one
Gore.
of
Yeah,
the
Frank
first
Gore.
submissions
Balls.
from you.
Yeah, Frank Gore. Okay, good Mount Rushmore. Let's get to huge balls, enormous balls, flapping everywhere.
Great balls.
Great ball, great set of balls on that guy. Okay, let's get to Kirk and Riggs, talk a little more Open Championship. Some very funny moments with those guys. Okay, we now welcome on two very special guests. They are our colleagues. They have the greatest golf gambling show that is yet to be titled. It is Kirk Minihane and our guy Riggs from Foreplay. You can listen to Kirk Minihane podcast. So, the Open Championship. Let's get into it. Let's talk some golf. Let's get some bets. I'll start with you, Riggs. Give us big picture. Hoylake, Royal Liverpool. I don't know which one to call it. How does this course rank overall in terms of Open Championship courses?
This one's a little bit of a weird one in that they didn't host the Open here for 39 years, I think, from late 60s till 2006. Then Tiger came in, it was all burned out, didn't use the driver. Then Rory won in 2014, but they changed it. In order to do that, they changed it a lot, which the old course, all these old British Open Rota courses are known for pretty much they just moved the tee backs, and the courses have been the same for like 500 years, where there's a new hole. The 17th hole is like a brand new hole that kind of goes against everything with the Open Championship. So it's a little weird. It's going to be very different than 06 where it was burned out. It's green. Me and Kirk were talking. It's very green, which they don't like over there. It's going to be soft. So it's going to play a little different than a normal British Open.
Okay. And you said it's Royal Liverpool. Do we have any Scousers? Is this Rory's home track when it comes to England? Does he have other courses that he prefers over there?
Well, I think the closest guy is probably Fleetwood in terms of having a home game, maybe a Fleetwood or a Matty Fitz situation. Rory, I think the Jack Nicklaus quote was that the further south you go in the British Open, the shittier the golf courses get. So when you start like high up in Scotland and then you go lower and lower to lower England, they get shittier and shittier. So this one would be kind of like is a little bit more north in England, I think, but still relatively shitty compared to the rest. So, but yeah, the Hoylake thing, I think the town is Hoylake. It's 20 minutes or so from Liverpool. So that's why we get the mix up. I don't know what to call it either.
Okay, so Kirk, you are a golf historian. I love just sitting and talking golf and hearing you rattle off different moments and things that happen. So tell me where the Open Championship ranks on your list of majors and golf events, and then also favorite Open Championship memory or moment.
I'd go Masters still first. I'd go American Century second. I have Steph Curry this week to finish top 10. That's plus 150. I'm starting right there because I'm going with my guy Gronk. He's probably one of the 3 best players in the world right now. I mean, obviously, the best parts of the Open Championship are. I don't think this is going to happen this week, Riggsy. I don't know if you've been looking either, but I don't think we're going to get like the shit kicked out of us, like a disaster weather situation. Where like 76 is a good score. Obviously, Van de Velde is like the great moment in the history of the Open Championship, good or bad, like that. 3-shot lead pisses it away. But it's a solid second for me when it's good. I don't know about this week. I feel like this could be one of these weeks where it's Saturday afternoon, like the sun's out and 15 under is leading, and you're thinking, well, this doesn't really feel like an Open Championship at all. It feels like a shootout. It feels kind of like last week before the weather got bad, the Scottish Open. So a good British Open is like tied second with the Ryder Cup, not Ryder Cup, Ryder Cup. For me, Ryder Cup.
Right, not right Tur.
Yes.
Right Tur Cup.
Yes.
But I would say Masters first, no matter what. Good British Open, though, is a really solid. But it's been a while, Riggs, since we've had one where like hats are blowing off and like caddies are falling down, and Peter Arliss, who's now dead, is like saying something that makes no sense, and like the cameras have no idea what's going. I miss those days of complete. We haven't had one of those, I don't think, in a long time.
Yeah. No, we haven't. And to kind of speak to that point going in, I think everybody on this show likes to root for the golf course. And
yes.
I got my eye on a bet that is the low score of the tournament being way lower than we would ever like. So I think that's sort of the MO going into this, which sucks. Hopefully we're wrong. There's been plenty of stories where guys have had to borrow, back in the day, they had to borrow rain jackets or people in the gallery because their forecast is it's going to be fine, and then it's complete dog shit and they get dominated, which we root for. So that could always happen, but it looks like it's going to be soft. a little bit of wind, nothing too crazy. And like Kirk said, the last thing we want is somebody goes out in an early round and the wind's not up that yet and it's green when it's supposed to be brown and they're like putting for a 59 in the British Open, which could happen this week, it feels like.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens. Like, I want my British Open courses to look like they were World War II battlefields. I want there to be bunkers that look like they made them out of hand grenades that they just threw into the middle of the fairway, right? Like that deep shit. And last year at St. Andrews, we had the burns, right? You had to watch out for the burns. Mm-hmm. What's going on with this course? What's one feature of this course that makes it unique and maybe a little bit challenging, something that we can root for even on a day where maybe somebody does go out there and shoot like a 62?
Well, I think we like to play a lot of like British Open bingo card type stuff with and golf announcers in any of the tournaments. They kind of just play the hits. They have like 5 terms. This one's going to be the internal OB in the wall.
Yes.
There's a couple holes where there's like a wall and then out of bounds is right there. And boy, oh boy, when they get hung up and they don't know what to talk about, they're just going to hammer this wall and their internal out of bounds, which people that are not big golf fans be like, what the fuck does that mean? So I think you're going to get a lot of wall chatter this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is internal out of bounds?
It's essentially OB typically is designated by a part of the property that like the course or the club doesn't own. It's like it's like literally off property. What happens is the way that you could, with new age technology, a lot too, guys hit the ball a lot farther. They might just take a line, for example, if like the 9th hole and the 10th hole run parallel and there's a dog leg right, they might just hit it down the 9th hole if they're playing the 10th hole because it's a way better angle. So they designate that the internal part of the property is actually out of bounds, which most people think is really dumb.
It's PFT. It looks like the first base line is going up the 18th fairway, where there's like, I don't know, probably 40 feet in between the out of bounds line and actually where the patrons are sitting. So it's going to be weird. Like, you could hit a shot that looks like it's in bounds and it's just out of bounds. So they're basically playing baseball.
I love the term internal out of bounds. Adam 22 should learn that term.
Right. Kirk, I was watching. This is very sad of me, but I do love the golf majors, and especially in the middle of July when there's not a lot to talk about. Have you watched any videos about the 17th hole? Because I'm calling this the hole of the tournament. I watched them, how they remade it and everything.
Yeah,
it looks like
par 3, right? Yep.
Yeah, the green looks like it's going to be shooting on top of a spoon. So, what's your favorite hole on this entire course?
I'm actually with you because I watched something on YouTube about this as well. So they redesigned. It's playing rigs like 140, like 138.
Yeah.
Mm. But I think again, like I need for that hole to be great. We need a little bit of wind, I think. And now it's a super short landing spot. So I think it's one of those ones where if a guy's up by 1 or up by 2 heading into 17, then it's gonna be really interesting. So yeah, I would say what's weird about this course is one of these courses where the holes are different in the major championship than they actually are if you go and play it. So I think like 1 is actually 3 and 3 is actually 10. They made 10 a par 4 now as well. Used to be a par 5. So it's a complete mess. But I actually am with you, Dan. I think 17 is probably going to be the most interesting television hole on the course. It's not the course that has like 4 or 5 holes that jump out at you either.
No. No, I was just thinking that too.
It's like right in the middle
like
for me. And I do these. I've ranked the open courses like I was doing it the other day. It's like
give them to us.
Well, I would say it's not. Put it this way, it's not my top 5. No way. You have to say. For me, St. Andrews still is number 1 by far. I'm a Carnoustie guy. Carnoustie's when you get the shit kicked out of you. That's like a solid 2 for me. I don't think this cracks the top 5. I don't think. But, you've had great winners, though. I mean, look at the last 2 winners, Rory and Tiger. So there's something for that.
Yeah.
A little Bobby Jones won here. So there's a lot of big names that have won here. But it is weird. It's like until I took a flyover yesterday, I didn't really remember any of the holes. No. The only hole I remembered was the 18th hole where it's a hard dog leg right. If you're going to go for the par 5, you have to pretty much hit it over the out of bounds the entire time. I think the 3rd hole, that's going to be the first one where you get hit with the wall chatter. So I think that's going to be a really cool hole where the guys kind of have to fly it over the edge of the wall, which is OB. If they push it right, it could obviously not cover the wall and be OB. So I think that one will get a lot of talk. But I think another key phrase the whole week is going to be for the members. They're going to say that a lot. Like, this plays as a par 5 for the members. This actually ranks as the 17th hole for the members. They're going to say that all the time.
Okay.
I love that. What does that mean?
Right. Well, sorry. I love that Riggs acts like he's mocking that. But if you saw him in North Carolina, he is one of those guys more than anybody who's ever. Like I said, we were all
TV
there.
in the bar, like, hey, this is for the
We
members.
were all there. And, like everybody went up to him. Everybody looked exactly like Mike Pence, and he went up and shook his hand. And, like terrible inside golf jokes, and he fucking lapped it up like you wouldn't believe. And now he's talking the very thing that he is 90% of the time. Like
Yeah.
90% of the time.
I did see Riggs hugging like 4 different 60-year-old men over the course of the weekend.
He has, yeah. It's
He'd be like,
every
"Hey,
single
hey,
guy.
hey."
Yeah,
Right.
every single guy in Pinehurst is essentially the actor from like a Fidelity commercial when he's sitting at the
Right.
at his in his kitchen, sun-drenched kitchen, drinking OJ, looking at a paper, being like, "How are we going to retire, honey?" That's just Riggs. That's all his best friends at Pinehurst.
And Riggs,
That's like-
everybody, Riggs is like, Riggs has like a terrible nickname. It's like, "Hey, Sergeant, you still having trouble on 11?" And they laugh, and you're like, "What is this? What am I witnessing? What's going on?"
So yeah, Riggs, you will do that for the U.S. Open next year. You will be like for the members because you
100%.
live
I
on
was just like,
Pinehurst. Yeah.
I would take that information I just gave to you guys and made fun of those guys. Like tonight at the bar, I'll be like, when they show that hole on TV, I'm gonna be like, hey, by the way, this hole for the members place.
I mean, you do have the best life of anyone ever, Riggs.
Oh, for sure.
I decided that after we went to Pinehurst. I was like, the foreplay. I have the greatest job in the world. The foreplay guys have figured out how to have the greatest job in the world. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah. So you guys have done well gambling. It is a gambling show that you do. You put it on YouTube, on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube every single Wednesday before they're gambling on every single one, which is there's nothing better than golf gambling when you have a top 10, a top 5, even a winner, and crazy odds. So should we get into it? Do you guys, however you want to start,
do
what
it.
picks you like? You know, it could be top 20, could be top 10. Let's start with that. Let's start top 20, make the cut, and then we'll get to our winners.
Riggs, you always go first, so go ahead.
All right, I got 2 top 10s for you since we're going to start here. And Barstool Sportsbook app, lovely app. Highly recommend go download it. Go check out a bunch of the specials. They got a whole tab for the Open, which is fun to scroll through. They got round prop specials, the whole deal that you can't really get everywhere. So,
By the way, the odds too, Riggs, man, just a quick interruption. We updated the app. Odds are very good. Let's just say that. They are very competitive, market competitive, very, very good odds. So you're going to see some really nice, juicy odds out there.
So I got 2 top 10s I'm taking. I got Tyrrell Hatton, English fella. He has finished 4 of his last 7 starts. He's finished inside the top 6. He had a great week last week, which was their first links golf real experience at the Renaissance of the year. He finished tied for 6th. He's plus 225. So I got Tyrrell Hatton, top 10. And I also got Tommy Fleetwood, another English fella. He's plus 200. He finished tied for 6th last week as well. In his last 4 starts, he's 2nd, T5, T6. He did have a mixed cut in there, but I think he was under par. It was just one of those where you had to shoot a million under. So those are my 2 top 10s. I got Fleetwood and Hatton.
Okay.
All right. These odds aren't great. I usually don't take a minus. I'm going to take one here. It's minus 650. Dan Rappaport's going to delete one of his tweets during the Open Championship. So I have that.
That's on the sports book.
Is that on the sports book? Okay, I was just looking. This is
Can I
legitimate.
parlay that? Can I parlay that with a fake quote?
Yeah, you can also parlay that with one of the golf. You can also parlay that with one of the golf writers being upset that Nick Faldo's back in the booth because the golf. We're going to Did you see this Riggs top 20 finish after round 1? Inside the top 20 after round 1. He's in the morning. Scotty Scheffler is plus money, plus 120 for that.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Yeah, did you see top 20 finish round 1, plus 120. Scheffler,
And Scotty has been killing it. He is totally separated from Rahm. I know it was Scotty and Rahm, but Rahm has kind of not been heard from since the Masters.
Right. And Scheffler hasn't won much lately, but his numbers, if you look at it, his tee to green numbers are like the best since Tiger in 2000. He can't putt, but you know what?
That's the thing, right? Like he's been changing he changed his putter up.
Right. But in the Open Championship, it's kind of a neutralizer. It's actually I think it's going to be a really good week for him. I'm not picking him to win, but I think he's going to have a great week. I love him. Top 20 finish round 1. Scotty Scheffler. So that's my first one. Go ahead, Rick.
Okay.
And I love Fleetwood, by the way. I'm with you with Fleetwood in the top 10. If I had to pick somebody to win, which I generally don't do, I'll do it since I'm here. I would pick Fleetwood to win this week. I think things are setting up really well for Fleetwood.
You're going to notice we do this a lot in the Unnamed Golf Show. I'm taking that Scotty bet with you as well. Scotty has 7 consecutive top 5 finishes. So the fact that he would be outside the top 20 after round 1 would be shocking. So I like that you got him at plus money. I teased this earlier. I'm going to go the low round of the tournament. So there's a nice little tab on the Barstool Sportsbook that's got a couple different options for this. You could either bet it's going to be like 65 or higher. You could bet it's going to be exactly 64, or it's going to be 63 or lower. Par 71. I think we're going to get one of those mornings or something where, like Kirk mentioned, the sun's out, yet it's still soft and green. There's no wind. Someone's going to go incredibly low. So I've got it at, I believe, plus 135. The low round of the tournament is 63 or better.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, I like that a lot. Now, you guys are certified Brooks Koepka haters, correct? Are they fucking with Brooks by putting him with Cantlay? Are they trying to get under his skin?
A little
Tough
bit.
spot.
I think that's definitely gonna hurt him. I will say that I'm gonna wait when we get to our winners. I'm betting with not with my heart, with my brain here. I think I like Brooks this week. I just saw his presser. I'm sure you guys liked. I'm sure you watched his presser this week. I like Brooks a lot this week. And if you look at the odds in terms of winning, I feel like whenever we go into these majors, he's right there with the top 3 or 4 guys that are always favorite, except he's 18 to 1. And you've got Rory, who hasn't won a major in 9 years, who I think is plus 650. So I kind of like him a lot this week.
The good news about Brooks not winning Blake of the Year is he would have been hungover and gone on a bender for another week, and then he would be messed up going to this tournament like he was going to the U.S. Open. So I think it's good. I think it's good that he did not win Blake of the Year. But I'm in on Blake. I like Blake. I like Fleetwood too this week, and I'm going to bet Rory. You almost have to bet Rory because it's like he's due. He's got to win at some point. In fact, we said on the show that if he doesn't win in a 10-year span, he goes back to never having won a major.
I would say, my argument would be you take one away for every year after 10, but that's fine. I don't hate that. And he's after last week. At some point, he's going to win one of these. He's going to stumble. Let me give you one other pick, Riggs. I have Ryan Fox plus 300 top 20. I've made money off Ryan Fox this year. I know I got bold, but he played well last week. He's going to be, he's and he bombs it. And this course is almost 7,400 yards. It's going to be wet. Great course for a bomber. I love Ryan Fox this week. Love.
I told you I like him so I like him top 40, but it's only plus 120. We just start to get really tough when you get inside the top 20. But I got one, Kirk, I think you're going to love. I got the best finish for a lefty.
Ooh.
Oh.
I've got Harmon plus 170. The top left-handed players, there's 3 fellas on here. Robbie Mack, who just had a great finish, Scottish guy last week. He's plus 125. Brian Harmon's plus 170. Phil Mickelson's plus 275. I don't think any of us think that Phil's going to have a great – he had the second place at the Masters, and other than that, he's played horrific. But if you look at Brian Harmon, the little lefty fella, he's gone U.S. Open T43, and then he was T2, T9, T12. Those are his last 4 finishes. I know Bobby Mack was the big, everybody's going nuts on him last week, but Brian Harmon is kind of a proven steady Eddie out there. So I got him low lefty plus 170.
I like it. So let's do winners because I don't want to completely take all your guys' picks away from your YouTube show. Everyone should go watch on the Barstool Sportsbook. You'll have more picks tomorrow on Wednesday when it airs. But let's go winners and tell me first. You both can chime in. What is the profile of a winning golfer for this course? Like, what are the things that you're looking for that they should have? That sometimes you have golf courses where it's like, hey, you need great iron play or you need to drive it long. What exactly are we looking for this particular golf course?
I think it's a bomber's course, like I said. I think it's a place super long and it's really good iron play. I think it's where guys like Dustin Johnson are going to be good. And one of the 2 guys who I think, if I had to pick 2 guys to win, I'm going to pick Fleetwood. But if I was to pick somebody else, it would be Victor Hovland. I'm going to pick Fleetwood this week. He's playing great. This course matches up perfectly for him. And he's been knocking on the door. It doesn't make any sense, but I don't like the Rory won last week. That gives me bad vibes back to back. I don't think he's going to win 2 weeks in a row. I kind of wish he had lost. I might have picked him. So I'm going to take Fleetwood because I think he matches up, and so does Hovland. But Fleetwood for me matches up really well. And Scheffler just makes no putts. So at some point, he has to make a putt, but I'm picking Fleetwood this week. I think you're going to see a bunch of stars in the top 10, which is going to be good.
See, I think in terms of seeing a bunch of stars in the top 10, I completely agree with that. And like I kind of touched on earlier, when I go through and look at all the stars, it's Rory plus 750, Scotty plus 750, John Rahm plus 1,200, Brooks Koepka plus 1,800. I don't know that any of those names I feel like are more likely to win than Brooks Koepka. He's got a second and a first in 2 of the 3 majors thus far. So if you're going to give me those odds versus those other guys, I like Brooks's chances as much as anybody else. So I'm taking Brooks Koepka. Like I said, I watched his presser. He seemed incredibly confident. They're asking him about, you like your Ryder Cup chances? You were playing a practice round yesterday with Zach Johnson. How'd that come to be? And he just gave a great, I walked onto the tee. I didn't have a tee time, and Zach Johnson was there, so we played golf together. And I just like that he's got that kind of Brooks major. I'm here to win.
Suck up
attitude. So
I like it. I like it.
He
Riggs.
made
Thank
us
you.
a bunch of money. He made
Riggs,
us a
you're a
bunch of
great
money
guest.
this year.
Yeah.
He made us a bunch of money this year.
Riggs,
Those
you're
are
a
just facts.
fantastic guest.
Riggs, we got to have you back on next time.
Those are just facts. I
Shitting
don't know
all
what
over
to tell you.
off air and on there. It's just like, yeah. Probably win more majors than Jack. Yeah, he's great. Oh, I love it. Oh, he's drunk. Is he hungover? Oh, is his wife taking a picture on Instagram? This is great. I love this shit. I don't want Brooks Koepka winning the Open Championship. That's demeaning to the Open. I don't want him winning the Open. He can win
Demeaning to the Open. I like.
I like
I do
that,
like
Kirk.
that take.
Tommy Fleetwood, you give Tommy Fleetwood the card again. He can hold it up. Brooks Koepka's going to be like, oh, is this like, how long does this tournament go on? Like 10 years? Fuck off. I don't know. I need a guy who respects the game. Koepka, the thing about Koepka is he cares about as much as he does about the live tournament in Oklahoma, which is okay.
That's not true. No, Brooks does care about the majors. You could tell after he won the last one. He started listing off all the golfers that have won 5 and what it would mean to him to get to 10. Like, he cares more than he lets on sometimes. But yeah, I do. I understand what you're saying, Kirk.
Demeaning to the Open. I like it. It's a great take.
That's a great storyline. If the guy wins that and it's demeaning to the Open, that's fantastic.
I'll put it this way: if your so-called golf gods that live in a cloud above Scotland somewhere, if they're real, they will not let Brooks Koepka win an Open championship.
I've said all along. I don't think Bobby Jones would allow Brooks Koepka to win the Masters. Like I actually believe that. I think he's like, nope, this is not happening. He's a stupid PGA. Who cares? But you're right. I think you're right about that.
It's driven me insane beyond belief that Brooks Koepka just isn't an absolute golf nerd like the rest of us. And like Kirk just said, that all the golf nerdy dweeby things that we obsess over, he just doesn't seem to give a flying fuck about. But he has proven that makes him in majors somehow impervious to the other bullshit that people seem to fall by the wayside to. So I can't not pick him. He's 18 under.
I got another question for you guys because we haven't talked about him at all. Can we just say something nice about Max Homa?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I like about Max is he appreciates his time, his family. He takes weekends off at major championships. Like, he's able to hang out with his kids and his wife on Saturdays and Sundays, which I appreciate.
That's mean.
I like Max, but like at some point he's got to do something one of these majors. I'm rooting for him like everybody else. I like Max. I want him to do well. I don't know. I think he's almost like the anti-Brooks. Like, I think he thinks about this stuff so much that it's now wedged in his brain. One of these days, like, he'll make the cut. He'll shoot like 64, 65 on Saturday. Bam, be right in and sneak away. I actually think he will win the major championship. And by the way, let me say on the record, the gentleman of the Open Championship, presented by Her Majesty the Queen, now actually His Majesty the King, is completely fine with Max Homa winning the Open Championship. We are fine with that. We sign off.
Okay. Not demeaning to the Open.
No, I wouldn't be demeaning. I wish he had the Max is not it should be Maxwell if he's going to win the Open Championship.
Yes,
that's
Sir
fine.
Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Maxwell
that
Silverhammer. He should be his full name for this.
I sign off on that. Yes, I'm fine with that.
I was saying with Max Homa when we played our scramble against him last year, Max Homa was genuinely rooting for Trent, which I like to see the entire time. The fact that we're having a heated match definitely was not rooting for me. He played well last week. He had a great week last week in shit conditions. He had a good finish. He's been dog shit in majors forever, which I think, like Kirk said, just adds up in his own brain. So unfortunately, I would love to root for Max. I always do. I don't know that he's got it in the majors yet.
Okay. Okay. So this has been great. Do you have any final thoughts? Any maybe not a bet, but a person you're like, I'm rooting for this person. I want to see them win. Is it Rory for both of you guys, or actually no? Kirk, you're not a big Rory guy.
No,
yeah.
I'm rooting. I root for people to lose. So like I am rooting. Like, I don't have anything against Rory, but I hate that Rory played this like, Jim Caviezel martyr, Passion of the Christ character during the whole live thing. It was like he had the Charlie Brown walk. It's like life's not that difficult. Like the world. So I kind of now don't like him anymore. So now I'm rooting against him because if he loses this, that's now 10 years since this guy won a major championship, which is wild. I'm rooting for Tommy Fleetwood or Victor Hovland. I am rooting against Rory McIlroy. And I'm actually kind of rooting against Ricky Fowler because everyone likes him again. So now it's like, now that everyone's into him, I'm kind of rooting against him.
That's the only reason that you're rooting against Ricky is because everybody during the U.S. Open was like, oh, my God, it'd be so cool. What a great story. And you're like, fuck this. He's too likable now.
Yeah, no, Kirk gets credit. He was the first to turn on Michael Block. He turned on Michael Block before Michael Block even hit that hole in one. He was like, this guy sucks.
Blocky is going to be everywhere. That's the other thing. Get ready for Blocky this week on Instagram. He's going to be at every bar. He's going to be at those little bars. He's going to be hanging out. He's going to be doing autograph signings with John Daly at like a strip club like a mile away from the course. It's going to be a big Blocky week. Big Blocky.
All right, Kirk or Riggs, finish us off. Who are you rooting for? Not a bet, but who are you rooting for?
I'm obviously the guy that just gets all in on the Rory. I'm a Rory head. I think it's the best storyline. I think it probably won't occur like ours. And then I would hate to see Sungjae pull through this week because now that Elio has finally distanced himself from rooting for Sungjae, if he had a good week this week, I'd feel horrific for Mr. Ice. So yeah, I can't help but get caught up in the Rory hoopla. I think I want to be the anti-Kirk in that situation. So if Rory wins,
if you saw the video this week, Rory's kid hates him. Did you see that?
Yes. Yes.
No who are you? Get away from me.
Want to go hang with Tommy Fleetwood?
Probably so. Yeah, Thomas Fleetwood, the second.
No, that's what they said. He wants to go give Tommy a hug. By the way, Riggs, don't worry about Elio because listen, I've known Elio for a while now. He is a gambler through and through. He has publicly said he's done with Sungjae. He is 100% betting Sungjae and not talking about it because you can't like have that happen to you. He knows what's at stake if Sungjae wins and he doesn't bet it. So he's just publicly distancing himself.
Then I'm back on Sungjae. That's all I needed to know.
Yes. Okay. Well, guys, thank you. Appreciate it. Great talking golf. Also, make sure that I don't know when the Ryder Cup is coming out, but Kirk and Riggs were both part of it. Great time down at Pinehurst.
2025, I think, is it for the Bethpage Black. 2025, I think. Bethpage Black. They're gonna release the Ryder Cup videos. That's
okay. Nice.
Yeah, everyone ask Max where the Ryder Cup video is.
Yeah. Ask Max. He's editing.
I have nothing to do with the Ryder Cup editing. Zero to do.
Just tweet him every day and be like, when is it going to be ready? And he'll get on it. So all right, so everyone check out on the Barstool Sportsbook. They do have their golf YouTube show that is yet to be named, but always gives out winners. So thank you, boys. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Okay, let's wrap up the show. Great show, everyone. Jimbos. We got like 3 Jimbos we're going to do, and then we'll do numbers.
There's some long ones. Hey, fellas, my wife and I got a great Pyrenees puppy last week. Pyrenees puppy last week. I was home alone watching her one day when I needed to sit down for shit.
Did you say Great Pyrenees?
Great Pyrenees.
Okay.
You got it.
I was home alone watching over her one day when I needed to sit down for a shit. When home alone, I always just go with the door open. I figured it wouldn't take long, so I didn't put puppy in her crate. I got to watch in horror before I could pinch it off. Her stared directly into my eyes and shit in the hallway 15 feet away. Oh. Well, since the deed was done and there was nothing to do, I figured may as well take my time to finish up. That was a mistake as I had forgotten I had turned the Roomba on and got to watch it smear fresh puppy shit for a few feet before I could pick it up off the ground.
Oh.
Trying to react quickly to pick it up, I just picked it up on the bottom where I picked up was also covered in dog shit, so now I'm covered in dog shit.
Oh.
That's tough.
That is tough.
I mean, that's kind of a cool moment that you got to share with your dog. You guys both shitting at the same time?
Yeah. The potty training a dog sucks. You got to go like high value treat. I remember when I was doing it with Stella, it was just I'd get like a shitload of roast beef and I would only take it out on walks. And so every time she went to the bathroom outside, it's like, boom, roast beef.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm dealing with the dog training thing right now.
You've had your dog for a really long time.
He's really well trained, but he does not fuck with spiral staircases. So I have to carry a 100-pound dog down the stairs.
Oh yeah, I saw your treat. Your treat was funny. Yeah.
He just won't go down the stairs. We're working on it. He'll go up the stairs, but I gotta post a video. I had to literally lug this dude down this like spiral staircase that I can't even fit down. and it's a problem.
That's classic dogs, though. Like walking over city grates.
Mhm.
Never. No thank
They're
you.
smart that way.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my biggest fears. If I'm in New York and you're walking down the sidewalk, either you have the grate or sometimes you get the cellar for a restaurant
Yeah.
and you get those metal doors. I'm always terrified I'm going to fall right through. Dogs are smart.
Yep. Okay, next one. Good one.
I'm a painter. Last week at the house we were painting, I decided I need to take a large dump. So I decided to do my business in a toilet that I did not know at the time was broken. Everything went down fine, but the same cannot be said about the toilet paper. Long story short, the toilet paper would not stop flushing, and the toilet paper clogged the toilet, flooded the main floor of the house, and soaked through the flooring and leaked through the basement ceiling. Now I sadly need to pay for ceiling repairs because the toilet could not hold me.
Yeah, you just got to leave the job. You got to walk off
Yeah, I was
and
going to say
never
that's
come
tough
back.
when you're basically working for free
Yeah.
to pay for a mistake that happened at work.
Yeah.
And also everyone in your company knows that you ruined the job because you took a shit so big that it ruined the ceiling.
That moment when a toilet gets clogged and it's like, sometimes there'll be clogs where it's like, okay, just need a plunger, not like we're not overflowing here. But the second you realize it's an overflowing situation and it won't stop is maybe the most terrifying moment of anyone's life.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you have to like go to the store and buy a plunger.
Oh,
If there's no plunger, that's such a shameful purchase. You got to throw in some buffer purchases at the grocery store. You can't just go to the grocery store and buy one plunger and leave.
yeah.
Because everyone's like, oh, that guy just took a huge shit.
You got to
Yeah.
make it look like you're moving in.
Yeah, buy a
you throw
brush
in, like,
too.
some Cleaning
Yeah.
supplies, toilet brush, pack of
Box
Magnums.
of cereal. Yeah.
Yeah. All that stuff. Make it look like a real prestigious grocery trip.
Yes.
All right, then last one. This is from Nebraska. I went to a strip club with my buddies at 3 a.m., had a few too many drinks, tripped on the way to the bathroom, hit my head, had to get taken in an ambulance to get 8 stitches, and also got a severe concussion. Not my best night, crying emoji.
Oh, having that happen at a strip club is what hurts. Because you have to say that in the story. And everyone's like, damn, you got so horny, you passed out and hit your head.
You probably get glitter stapled into your head. So now it's just going to be part of you forever.
Yeah, I would hope you'd get like a sympathy hand job.
Yeah.
Right?
What?
Like, he's
Or at
almost,
least, yeah, like some lap dance free tickets.
yeah, exactly. Like a free ticket to the buffet.
They have strip clubs in Nebraska.
They have strip clubs everywhere. I think they have more strip clubs probably in Nebraska than most.
What else are you
places.
going to do?
Yeah. You ever been to West Virginia? Strip clubs everywhere. Strip clubs make the world go round. All right. Good show, everyone. Numbers
6-9.
5.
Oh.
18. I also feel bad for yelling at Billy.
No, don't.
I've had some time to think about it.
No. You
We win
banned
as a
him.
team, we lose as a
You
team.
banned him.
No, you banned him, Jake.
Unbanned.
No.
I have the
you
authority to
banned
unban my teammate.
him. Oh, it sounds like Billy. Sounds like Jake's your boss.
I'm just having fun.
Okay.
See? We're on good terms.
Well, no, Billy's just having fun.
Billy, did you guys agree to Barry Sanders?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I get Bo Jackson and Barry Sanders mixed up a little bit sometimes in my own brain. So I never
Okay.
saw either of them play. Barry Sanders retired like right before I was born. So I get them mixed up.
Okay.
That's on me.
Both B's. Okay. What are the numbers? I'm gonna go
26.
What do you got, PFT?
8.
I'm going to go 85 for our guy, Harvey. Very sad news. Harvey, Kentucky sports radio caller, passed away. 85 years old. Great life. Loved having him call in. Matt Jones just texted me. Very sad. We are, by the way, for anyone listening, we are going to still host Kentucky sports radio this summer. We just had a very weird summer, but we're going to planning on doing it late August. But R.I.P. Harvey. He was a legend. He was the guy who had the oils and would call in about Kentucky basketball, talking vibes. Like one of those guys that the minute we got him on the phone every year is like, this is going to be awesome.
One of a kind.
Yeah.
Yep.
R.I.P. Harvey. So 85 for Harvey. Great 85. Great long life. Sad that he didn't get to win another championship. I did have a future on him on the Kentucky this year. They were my secret team that I was going to split with Harvey, but that didn't work out. Okay. Memes?
1.
Have you ever gotten this?
Nope. 20.
Hank, what'd you guess?
26.
Motherfucker.
Hank!
Let's go.
26, the final number to ever be drawn in the original lottery ball machine, a fitting way.
All right, Jake, tone it down just a little.
That's exciting.
Okay, tone it down
The final number.
Tone it down a little.
Congratulations, Hank.
Congratulations, Hank.
Congrats,
I'm
Hank.
very happy.
I
for
would
you.
have picked 26, but Harvey died, so you should maybe nominate this to Harvey. Give this to him.
I'm just happy. Yo, no, I'm just kidding. Congratulations. Shout out to Harvey. Great guy. This one's in
Did
your
you say
honor.
Congratulations, Harvey?
I was saying congratulations to me. This is an honor of Harvey. Let's go around the room. How many does everyone have now?
I got so many, I lost track.
I have,
think I got 5.
according to the stats guy, I have like 5.
Well, some of them I think were Mickey Mouse.
But he asked how many I have. I have 5.
I have
You claim 5?
4. I claim 4, yes.
the documentation
problem.
I have is 2 for Big Cat.
Well, I don't try.
Oh,
I trust the guy who
interesting.
made a
That's interesting.
website.
That's
The guy
That guy made a website.
The
That
guy who
doesn't
fucking made a
interesting.
website.
That doesn't
The guy
That's
who made a
interesting.
website says I have 4.
that doesn't
Interesting.
include the
That's
Jake, I fucking
interesting.
know, but the guy made a website.
Okay.
4.
Jake, that was a great call. Don't let Big Cat
No,
besmirch you.
that
Don't
was-
let Billy besmirch you. Just keep being
No, you know what? Jake's being a little bitch right now. He went crazy at Billy for
You
Chris
cracked
McCaffrey, who's a great
You
fucking
cracked
pick.
up.
Chris McCaffrey's a great pick. I cracked
Oh,
up because
man.
you flipped and grabbed the mic from him. You're like, no. All right,
Congrats,
congrats,
Hank.
Hank.
I'm just
Very
happy I
proud
won
of you.
today and not Sunday.
I'm very proud of
Why
you.
Sunday?
Hank, do people still come up to you and tell you numbers?
Yeah, sometimes, not as much. And now it's like, how many do you have? 0, because they don't count if you don't fucking say them on the podcast. Now I have 2. Just as many as Big Cat.
Congratulations, Hank. No, I have 4. Hey, listen, new machine's coming, so it's
Can I
going
say
back
it,
to
PFT?
0.
Can I say it?
0 for everybody.
0
Say
for
it, Hank.
memes. 0 for everyone. Memes
Love you
right.
guys. I love you guys. I'm feeling the love right now.
No, you can't say that.
What the fuck? I asked
I don't know
you.
what you're going to say. You can't- no. Hank gets his second lottery ball. He thinks he runs the show now.
I asked you to say it, and you said yes.
Love you guys.
So
Bleep
do
out
I.
when Hank says it. It's not good. He doesn't mean it.
I thought it was Billy when you said motherfucker.
What?
When Big Cat, I can't see the ball. I could just see Big Cat. When Big Cat was like motherfucker, I thought it was Billy.
Did you do an animal fact? Animal fact.
Yeah, oarfish come to the surface when there's about to be some major terrible event like an earthquake or a volcanic eruption. They live really deep down, and just Google what they look like because it's pretty crazy.
I think we'll all just remember this show as the show that Harvey, our good friend Harvey, passed away, and also the time that Jake freaked out and banned Billy from talking about Rushmore.
Yeah.
Just not including all of the facts, but okay.
What you did
I
you
said from submitting picks. That's not from talking.
From saying
Oh, that's way worse. From being able to have any opinion is way
What?
worse. Submitting picks,
For Mount Rushmore.
speaking into the
Yeah,
mic.
you said generically speaking.
Oh, okay. He can speak in Mount Rushmore. He can't say picks.
Yeah, but I unbanned him.
Look, I know we're over it, but usually Jake has a solid list up when we're about to say it,
You don't mean that.
and he didn't have the list, so I forgot.
Oh, so it's
Liar.
Jake's fault.
Sounds like we're not over it.
Liar.
No, the list was not set up, so I was going from the dome.
From
You are
the
a
dome,
liar.
baby.
I click on every
Billy, you're dome. They
I
don't
click
respect
on
your dome.
every pick before you say it, and you nod your head.
Billy, they
I
don't
was
respect
doing that.
your dome, bro.
And you just went rogue.
Whose fault do you think
Off
it is?
the
Jake,
dome.
Billy, you're not allowed to answer. From the rest of you guys, I personally think that it was Jake's fault for not having the list up.
I think it was Jake's fault for being a tyrant.
Is this all in the show?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Hank, whose fault you think it was?
I think if Jake didn't have the list up, it's 100% on
I
Jake.
had the list up, so you guys taking Billy for his word is a true turning of the tables.
You actually didn't have the list up.
Yes, I
You didn't
did.
have it up,
And,
Jake.
and I panicked and I went Bo
We
Jackson.
could go for another hour.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Okay, Billy wins.
Why didn't you have the list up? Was it on a different tab?
Apologize for not having the list up.
I had the list up.
Okay.
You're usually pretty
Don't say
prepared,
this.
Jake. You're usually a pretty prepared guy.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah, exactly.
Not having the list up for your last pick, whew, and we get shamed, PFT, for having a too good of a list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're on the same page all the time. Sounds like you guys are not.
Definitely didn't come prepared. Yep, you're right.
So you didn't have the list up.
I had the list up.
Oh, okay.
A lot
So,
of people are saying that Jake has spent most of his time just worrying about calling lacrosse games
ooh,
and not focusing on part of my take.
not having
And
the
it
list up.
results-
Yeah.
and mistakes like not having the list pulled up.
One thing
go
that
back to the
Jake,
tape.
at least
I
going
think-
for Jake, is that he, no matter as much as you guys are trying to love him, he is definitely the most happy that all the numbers have been picked now.
Oh yeah,
That was my.
that's why I told him to
Big
tone
Cock
it
told me
down.
to shut up.
I told him so. Well, I was saying shut up because Hank has got another one, and he's gonna. I knew it was coming after that, but I have 4, and Jake didn't have the list up.
Biting my tongue.
Love you guys.
I have to go to pick a basketball game.
That's your animal fact.
Animal fact.